Hello, beautiful. I hope work's alright. I miss you too. Hello. Let's find some slop for you. We'll see if we can win in some more games today. Work gets dumb. It's the final push though. Yes, true. Absolutely true. What are you watching? Think before I sleep? Slop me up? Do
Teach real history. If
you like this guy? Think before he sleep? Seems like an interesting lad. 1 million subscribers, so it can't be a complete idiot. When this came out a month ago. Mm.
Despite the fact that these ICE protesters have not accomplished a single goddamn thing, here they are again doing the same thing at Home Depot, where they're trying to get Home Depot to stop cooperating with ICE, even though they're not. They've openly said they haven't, and yet they're just useful idiots. So they're not even useful; they're just idiots.
I need 2 wins today.
So protesters line up at Home Depot to return ice scrapers and protest of the company's
No,
relationship with ICE. There's no relationship. ICE knows day workers go to Home Depot to find work.
My
They
stream's
show up.
current
They're a federal
bitrate
agency. They're a federal law enforcement agency. They don't need to collaborate with a
lower
private
than
company
recommended
to
bitrate.
arrest somebody, even inside their building.
Let's see.
And these idiots are so dense. They're like, oh, let's waste the
What
hourly
is
worker
my
the
bitrate?
cashier's time
Oh,
because we'll feel
shit.
better about ourselves.
3,000?
Exactly, yeah. They know Home Depot can't kick federal agents out of the store, right? No, they don't. And the thing is, it's the it wasn't even the ice scraper. It was the putty knife. Like, they've never been inside a Home Depot. They don't know what blue collar work is. And this thing always irritates me. They're wearing their masks. He's covering his face. If you are
Okay.
saving your neighbors from being kidnapped, if you're a modern day
See what we can do. Just 2
civil
wins.
rights hero,
2 wins.
if you're so proud of what you're doing, why are you covering your face?
Then we can
Because
keep this
honestly,
train
if I was
rolling.
saving my neighbors from being kidnapped, like what they say, my neighbor was being kidnapped, and I saw them being taken away by masked men with guns, and I was like, oh my God, that's not federal agents making an arrest. That's actual kidnappers. If I was coming through there and stopping the arrest, I want them to see my face. I'm probably even going to put my Instagram handle on my shirt. I want the world to know Decoy is helping out the less
Spirit
fortunate.
Water
Decoy's a
Revival.
badass. He's
This is
standing
the
up
draw
to
2
tyranny.
cards.
He's a good guy. Like,
Unless
you want
you
your
draw
brand
essentially
on that.
a
You
new
want everybody
hand.
to know you did it.
If you can water bin 6.
Unless you want confidence about if your efforts were actually accomplishing the
Jasmine
goal.
Key Shop.
If you're ashamed of what you're doing,
It's a good land,
even
but I
at
don't know if
some
it's rare
level you know
quality.
what you're doing is bullshit.
We could take the land and just stay open.
It's unemployed
Blue's
behavior too,
tough.
because honestly, if you had something to do, if
Blue's
you had
tough for me. It's not my
kids to feed,
it's not my
rent was due,
expertise.
it wasn't you just collecting
I like to think
EBT
1 turn ahead,
and
but
benefits.
2, 3
You had
turns
somewhere
ahead.
to
It's
be,
a little much for me.
something to do, responsibilities.
Oh, I
You
do
wouldn't
like
have time
this.
to be returning and purchasing a putty knife over
I
and
do
over.
like that Cave
for
of
a
Two
cause
Lovers.
you're ashamed to be doing in the first place.
4 mana's a lot there.
But this is, I remember we did like a sit-in.
Hmm.
And this is holiday
Oh.
season. You can tell with the coats. This is holiday season. People got stuff to do. They're
Oh, I
busy.
like the Jailer.
They're literally
And I like Katara as
sheeple.
well.
They think they're good. And who's paying for these signs? Because it wasn't them. This is not from Home Depot.
Let's take the
Somebody paid
Jailer.
them to be there. And
Maybe stay open to blue white, which is flying. Ooh, Privacy.
I don't even think that they believe in the cause they have,
Oh.
because
I think it's
best
flying.
case they're bothering some hourly workers.
What's
Worst
the
case
other
they're
theme?
actually heckling federal agents going after
Draw
who
2
knows?
cards.
Like,
I think, yeah, it's like flying and draw 2
they
cards.
see a
is
brown
the,
person and they assume they're an illegal immigrant. It's super racist on their behalf.
Blue
But
white
they don't know if it's a
styles.
literal assaulter, someone that's beating on their significant other. They don't know the types of crimes of the individuals they're
The border's a
saving
pretty cool
have
one,
been
bro.
committing. And yet they proudly do this and document them, saying, "Hey, look, they're keeping your community safe. They're not going after mom and dad that own a little a food cart. They're going after someone that's
Ooh,
wanted."
Boomy
Had a
Bash.
court case, they lost it, and the
Should I
sanctuary
pivot into
city
Boomy
let 'em go.
Bash?
They know who they're going after.
Green's
and
pretty
yet
open as well, looks like.
They just assume, oh, innocent mom and dad.
With ice. Cool.
We know you are.
Mm.
So, ICE, Border Patrol, Louisiana.
I think we take Boomy Bash even though. Well, let's see what other
This
white
is the
ones are
second time
open.
we've seen this.
We can
They
pivot
said
later.
ICE at Euromart on magazine. They are helping kids. They're probably doing a sting on
Black
those weirdos
might
that are
be
going trying to
open
meet
with the
kids
human
online.
advisor. Jody.
They're going after them. And
Yeah,
yet they
there's
say,
another sold out.
because
There's
I
two
saw
sold
law
out so far
enforcement
as well.
plain clothes,
Okay,
they
let's
must be
take a
ICE.
black card and
We
see
need
how
to
that
help
goes.
the predators they're
Ooh,
arresting.
red might be open
because we
too.
assume
Red
all
black
law
might be
enforcement is
way
bad.
open.
That's how. It's not even useful idiots. They're just idiots. This is the second time they've surrounded people going after PDFs. Like law enforcement's trying to arrest PDFs.
Yeah,
and they're
red black
saying,
is so open.
stop them. Here's where they were.
Okay.
So if you're a PDF
So we got a
in
couple
that
of
community and you saw, oh my God, they're out there looking
We got
for
a
me.
couple early
You now
cards
know.
that,
You can track them. Evil individuals,
It's pretty easy.
and they
spot.
don't even realize it. Yeah, maybe Sunshine. They're sheeple. It's so bad.
Border Patrol, Louisiana.
Internet crimes against children. We hunt online predators. Oh yeah, cool.
Avatar enthusiast?
Online
It's a late
predators
turnaround.
with tinted windows.
We don't respect whatever you do.
Yes, they have tenant window. Have you ever seen like an undercover squad car just parked in a shady neighborhood in Los Angeles?
Fire
but it's
Nation
like,
attack
you
was
see
good too,
an
there.
undercover car, murdered out tint in the front window too, just hanging out there.
Let's
Yeah,
keep going
sometimes
down the
idiot, they got the fucking double limo,
red
double
block.
limo, 80 or 2%
Probably
tint
one
on
more
the front
pack or
thing.
two more
But
packs. See how
oftentimes
that
it's
goes.
them conducting a surveillance. They're so stupid they forget that crime exists. They're so against Donald Trump that they're like, protect the PDFs.
Well, we hunt child predators. So.
Right.
We don't believe you.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
An issue.
I want people to understand that there are crimes that are committed not because people are criminals, but because they literally are trying to survive.
You fat Which lady said it best? There's no good way to get into this.
No.
It's
gonna be fun though.
There's just no way. There's just no good way to
Appa?
get into this. I'm going to tell you who the people involved: Crockett, Joy Reid, Leslie Jones.
Late Oppa.
You know
Maybe
where
White's
this is
still
going, and
open.
it's well deserved. It's time for try not to be racist.
Should I do it? I'm gonna do it.
Some of them armed with guns.
I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow.
Sexual contact with an unresponsive man.
I like the little repeat at the end.
I hope we get back to tariffs because Terrifier still might be one of my favorites,
it's the
but
best.
that's one of my favorite stingers. All right, guys, you all need an A for effort.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you're going to get a perfect score, your final score, but an A for effort. You do that in the States, right? They give you a score for your effort?
No, I think it's just a saying.
Oh, no, we actually had scores on our report cards. We would get a grade. And
Maybe
we would
for
get,
like elementary
we would get
kids.
a commentary on your effort, and it was a grade. So the point is, I want you to really dig down
Ooh, two good white ones.
Try
Other kids go get +1,
to not be
+0.
racist.
Whenever a non.
deep. Jasmine Crockett.
Whenever
Guys,
another
remember what I just
permanent
told you.
control leaves the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 ally.
So this is an
There's only
actual
once per
lawyer.
turn.
And,
Oh, it
this
Already
video
Momo.
resurfaced where she was giving her opinion on criminals, and of course it's race-based, and of course it is racist, but
Man, both these are good.
you're better than that. Let's try and build some momentum.
I think
with
I
that
have a
stinger.
lot
Try
of
not to be
flying
racist,
already.
okay?
I don't want
we
anybody to
take
mistake
Momo.
what I'm saying. Just because you are impoverished does not mean that you will be a criminal. But I do want to be clear that there is a direct link between poverty and susceptibility to
Man, this one's so
having
much
to
more
engage
useful
in
there.
certain things.
I'm
And this
almost
is
good,
something
but I
that
think this
know
card's just a
What certain
useful
things?
card.
close and personal as a public defender. I want people to
You need to know
understand
what
that there
sale.
are crimes that are committed not because people are criminals, but because they literally are trying to survive.
If a triggered ability and ally you
Wrong.
control that triggers
Wrong.
again,
That's just not, I'm sorry,
Oof.
that's just not true. To be clear,
Another master poo-poo?
regardless of economic status, references,
jet ski.
link in the description as we do every show.
We'll do jet.
Black
So
communities
removal and a creature.
have higher
I'll do
homicide
that.
rates. They're more violent, meaning a poor white guy, poor white kid, poor black kid, statistically a much higher likelihood of the poor black kid committing crimes. There are some
Ozai,
studies that
the
show actually
Phoenix King.
middle class or upper
Trample
middle class
haste.
young
Firebending
black
4.
men still more likely
You
to
would
commit violent
lose
crimes
unspent
than
mana.
poor
That
white
mana
men.
becomes red instead.
That's what there can be some
That's
debate
flying
about
and
that.
indestructible
They
as long
haven't
as
always
you
been
have 6 or more
replicated.
unspent mana.
But if you control for
Yo,
everything
I'm
else,
taking that.
economic
There's other good
status,
stuff in here,
community,
but
you
I
know,
gotta take that.
family status,
Double black,
it's not
double
even
red.
close.
Well,
It's a trend. Also, this cannot apply to anything other than theft. There's no other crime.
Yeah,
Not you stabbing on the subway.
That's the only crime that is, something you're doing to survive. You're
Yeah.
not stabbing a toddler in a grocery store parking lot to survive.
Right. And you also have to look at what people are stealing. Look at the locked glass at
when
CVS.
Iroh
A man cannot
enters,
live on
create a
razor
free
bump
token.
cream alone.
Beginning of your
So
combo,
it's not a
during your combo,
necessity.
I have target opponent gain control.
I also
of
just
target
and
permanent
I
you
understand
control.
like there.
When you do create
I've
a
dealt with
1/1
hard
ally
times
and
before
put +1
personally.
counter
My
on
family has. I
that
understand
token
that there are
for each
difficult
permanent you own that
patches
your
in
opponent
life or
controls.
long stretches in some cases,
Ah.
but I find it very difficult to try to use the.
Green
But I
mana
had to
2/2.
steal food, otherwise my
token.
kids would starve.
Yeah, okay,
if I
Aladdin.
didn't. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like in the United States, it's very, very difficult to make that make sense for most people because of all of the safety nets that are out there in communities. Now, I understand if you say, well, they don't have a lot, or they're a little bit hungry, but we have
well,
enough
I guess I
food
got
to
him.
get
Ah.
through each day. But it's just that makes sense. But to then go, well, then they can steal from somebody else, or they can rob somebody else for that. No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
I like this
Why
one.
are we
This one
bringing
was
it up
good.
as though
It's a good ally
that's
one.
a solution? So what if we raise the economic standards of everybody in the United States, and we still had some poor people
For each
in the United
planes you
States
control,
relative to
Scry
everybody
2.
else? Would that solve the crime problem? I don't know. The stats say no.
But what's
There's
also
something
odd
better
is that
in here?
poverty, I should say poverty specifically in the
Maybe
black
this?
community, correlates with obesity.
Weird.
How much are you stealing?
A lot.
Next one. After President Trump
Dragonfly
referred to a reporter
Swarm?
as Piggy, which was funny then.
Oh,
it's not now.
musicians, maybe?
Leslie Jones, again, guys, remember,
Okay.
address the point. Try not to be racist. She told Nicole Wallace
I'll take
how
musicians.
she would have
Fuck,
dealt
that
with
other
the
one was
situation.
cool, eh?
I don't mean no harm. If he would have said "shut up, picking" to me, I'd have been like, "You fat."
That's for each lesson card. I don't have a lot of lessons, to be honest.
Wherever does the angry black lady stereotype come from?
I don't know. I don't know. It's an unfortunate angle too.
Try not to be
I
racist.
don't know what secondary color I'm using, to be honest.
Yourself,
still go.
you stinking
White
bastard.
splashing
You
blue
wouldn't
red.
be able to talk to me like that. Who you calling Piggy? You
Take the
fat.
farm animals, I guess.
I'm gonna do it. Horse you walked in on. I mean, like, how are y'all not losing your like that?
They didn't censor that.
If Obama did that, Biden did that.
Guys, take the land,
Must have
maybe.
been horrendous.
Look, I think
They would have dragged
Black,
Obama
blue.
out to the yard and executed him right there.
Oh.
With some of the stuff that he does.
This is the problem: is you can't have conversations with people. We were just talking before about where you can have civil disagreements, where you can have actual disagreements.
Right.
Not with someone who's this divorced from reality.
Yes.
Road's pretty open.
She believes that if Barack Obama referred to someone as chubby or piggy, that he would have been dragged behind a truck as a hate crime. Like, think about it. She actually believes that. You cannot have a disagreement with someone like this who there's no rooting whatsoever in reality. And this is crazy, by the way,
Trying to
because she
figure
said
out what I
something
wanna do
completely
here.
different in another interview.
He discovered me and decided that, Miss Piggy was giving him a hard time. So he, decided to get the next best thing. Or should I say, the better thing. And he hired Miss Boogie.
Ooh, double tolls.
Mwah! Kissy, kissy.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No, it's not for me. No.
Also, when you lose your mind and you lose
I
your
have one
temper,
water
and you're going
skin.
to
I
cuss
could do
somebody
2
out.
water
Make sure that you
skins
keep like a good
and
train
play
of thought
3
because you don't
colors.
F when she said F the horse you walked in on. It just does, like you got to ride a horse. You don't walk in on a horse.
Well,
like,
listen, Tim Walz.
Well, you can have sex with a horse after you walk in on it.
Yeah.
Well, but
then become governor of Minnesota.
I'll see if I can get a different water skin.
Do better.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if she doesn't?
Oh,
she
this is
clearly
that
has
one.
No,
This does look
no
cool.
experience.
I don't think I can play it there.
Equestrian.
Mulan.
Yeah.
Arts.
What do you think?
Imagine her as a horse whisperer. Hey, shut the f up! Huh? Neighing and shit. I got hay in my eye. Pollen. Let's get them out this mother.
She's yelling at me again, Wilbur.
Do you think she's capable of whispering?
It's not possible.
Like, do you
Okay, I
think
don't
when she
think
was
I
a
should get
child
whispering,
and they
but
played games of telephone, like
maybe
Sydney climbed the tree? Hey!
maybe that one?
And by the way, here's the thing. I mean, there are a
I
lot of
don't
things.
know. I kind of
Try
botched
not
this
to be racist.
not being as
This
decisive
is
as I
an
should have.
encapsulation of, reverse, just racism, of constant victim complex. It's because we're black. We're treated differently. And because she's a woman, she was called a piggy. Keep in mind, President Trump has called men far, far worse, far more consistently.
Just take whatever good red white cards I can find, I guess.
But if you're a child
See what we can do.
molester,
Hopefully that water skin will come back around and
no
grab
cure.
that.
True.
they can't stop you. Pathological, there's no cure.
He's not a war hero.
Oh, Ing's Journey might be a good pick, yeah.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Yeah, I think Ing's Journey just to get a different color in that.
Boot edge. No, because it's an unpronounceable name. Edge. Boot edge.
Which you like, Sleepy Joe or Crooked Joe? Because to me, he's a sleepy son of a bitch, you know?
Abandoned
Matter of
attachment.
principle,
The single biggest liar. You probably are worse than Jeb Bush. You are the single biggest liar. This guy will say anything. Nasty guy. Now I know why he doesn't have one endorsement from any of his colleagues.
All right, John, I get to respond.
Pick from the buffet there. He's a nasty guy. Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said.
Oh my God.
Grab a yip
He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said.
Someone who believes that him referring to a reporter as piggy is more sexist than him allegedly didn't know mocking a disabled reporter with hand
I
gestures.
don't think I'm getting that
That's
water
someone
skin, to be
divorced
honest.
from reality.
I got a yip and a water
This
skin.
is one thing. Women like there's a double standard. You're right. There is. If Ted Cruz was called piggy, he would just go, "What?"
It also would have been so much funnier than anything else he said.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been an issue. I'm like, okay, all right.
You'd have called me piggy?
Yeah.
And then he would have gotten the left would have nicknamed Ted Cruz Piggy.
Right. Yeah.
They would have made
All right, let's see what we
pig
can make with
memes.
this.
It would have been the whole thing.
They referred
This
to it as a
dropped is
blobfish,
definitely, yeah.
for crying out loud.
They did, yes.
Also, Jones
That was
decided
all over the place.
to,
I should have committed.
and I mean decided to crash out over ICE, and because she demands a reckoning.
How do you think it ends? How do you think the era ends?
Girl, this is what I'm hoping. That midterms people
got
come
dude
out
voice.
and vote like crazy to switch it over, and then the reckoning comes. That's what I want. Everybody
Reckoning
that works
Ralph.
for ICE, I want them in jail. I just want a reckoning. I want a reckoning. Y'all know y'all did wrong stuff. You know some of the stuff you did was so wrong. I need a reckoning. Because to me, that's the only thing that's going to make it right.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, you rescued like 500 kids from child trafficking prison.
Right.
No. Do me a favor, just for your audience, to make sure that the community is educated. Name them.
Right.
The things that you know you did wrong, name them.
Also, keep in mind, too, when they complain about white men and they talk about a reckoning, young black women are 2 times as likely to commit murder as young white men. So, again, try not to be racist. It's okay to acknowledge crime statistics, but it doesn't mean that that she is less educated than, I don't know. Just try not to be
I
racist,
have to
okay?
get rid of
That's all
Spirit
I can do. I just have to
Revival.
say it in the platitudes here. Joy Reid, let's do this one. Former MSNBC host, she shared this post that was
What rule
really
am I
upset
keeping in here?
about the idea that
Just
the
the
song Jingle
koi?
Bells. I know what you're thinking. Not the song Jingle Bells.
Master
The song
Paku?
Jingle Bells is racist.
None of our followers could read.
I can't.
Jeez, Tim. This is try not to be racist segment, okay?
All right. You got to...
A for effort.
It seems like she really had to do some digging to be offended by that. Wait until she... And by the way, sometimes the ideology isn't clear with our
I give
classics.
my
Wait until
opponent
she hears
a
from Frosty,
food
the
token.
progressive liberal, but also racist snowman.
And then I get a 2/2. I don't know about this one.
Happy birthday! Hey, I'm alive.
I mean, it's a 3-mana
Is this
2/2/2/2,
the future?
so 4/4.
Did we finally eradicate cis males? I don't see any colored children. Looks like somebody won the race war. And you can identify as whatever you want now. Who needs a vagina when I have an asshole? I can play with kids' balls, but we still need to eliminate white men and Christians, Jews, Chinamen, and any other transphobes. What say you, kids? Are you ready to storm into town with me and slaughter the enemy? We'll call it the Dickless Caliphate.
I don't understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, a lot of things don't really go together. Is his brain melted or something?
What's he smoking in that corncob pipe?
Yeah.
An amalgamation.
There must have been something in that magic hat they
You
found.
woke me up with bath salts. And then Joy Reid, try not to be racist.
Oh, no.
She went on to
Quite a
sing
few.
the song to own the cons. I don't know.
Got a couple allies.
Dashing through.
Should I try I Roll the
the
Tea Master? I
snow
feel like I should just try him.
in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Okay.
Home alone again, 'cause nobody loves me.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Don't get mad at me, 'cause I have hair like Slim Shady.
Hey, there you go. I'd say Demolition Man. And Demolition Man herself was not a fan, by the way, of this director's cut, no surprise, of White Christmas.
That's it. Keep the candles up. Keep them way up high. Okay, Byron.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some legitimate grievances.
I don't think I like it either.
Wow.
You almost let that flag touch the ground. You're off your nut about 1.5 miles. She goes into the barbershop, says,
Well,
give me the time
I think
code.
I Roll would be more useful than
She has been known to blow up a Taco
various
Bell
farm
or two.
animals.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
I could be wrong
By
though,
the way,
because
don't you
being able
remember
to
Taco Bell
destroy an
looked like
artifact or
like a
enchantment's
casa? It
pretty
was
dope.
fun. It wasn't just gray
And they
building,
block
you
and they
had
give you
the
3 life.
purple
Like,
tile.
Yeah, there was
that's pretty
teal.
cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, there was.
Nothing's
Food
fun
was
anymore.
tasty.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
creates two
Let me ask you this: if the
essentially.
country was that racist, would Joy Reid have been paid $3 million a year to host a news show that never succeeded? It was a net loss
I don't
always.
have anything else.
I could do that.
Yeah. Think about that for a second.
I have thought about it.
Yeah.
I could fail. I could fail at a news show and do it for less.
Yeah. I can.
Is that an offer?
I do.
No, I mean, yeah,
I do.
MSNBC,
I do.
if you're
For
listening.
much less. Only
Take out
take
Aang's
out the failing
journey.
part.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Take it. Much less.
For less.
Think about that.
And the
When
water
people say, like,
skin.
I have made in any given consistently much less than Joy Reid.
I'm just playing 2 colors.
She says racism. All right. Case in point. That's it. I rest my case. Here, speaking of which, again, try not to be racist. There's this reality star. I wasn't super familiar with her. Chrissy Ann Rock. So she was, I
Maybe
guess
I
she's being
keep
coached by
Aang's
Ryan Garcia,
journey
who's a former
for
I
Cry
believe
Race.
lightweight champion boxer. Very, very good. And she's been training with him. Now, here is proof that women, particularly black women, by the way, who are, again, we gave you the stats, very violent, don't control themselves. She is actually
Already got
being
2
granted an
curious
act of
farm animals.
mercy
I don't think I need more
because
than
this
that.
guy's a pro, and he's clearly going easy on her until he finally just very, very little accidentally just taps her. But look how out of control she is.
Jesus.
She thinks she's tough.
All training went out the window.
Oh, that's horrible boxing.
You don't even see the hit. It's instinct. He lightly taps her. Watch.
for sure.
And you know what? Here's the thing. That you hear say, I ain't playing no more. These people view it as playing when they're beating your ass. They view it as a hate crime if you fight back. And I'm not saying that he should have punched her. I'm not saying that he
No.
but seriously, I'm playing. He's like, okay, let's spar. Again, he's not even wearing boxing
Yeah, I
shoes.
have a lot of double whites.
They're
I'm
on
gonna
tile.
9 planes, 7 mains.
And he's just letting her
Okay,
and she's
we
playing
drink,
as long as
and
she
then we'll
is
see
dominating
what we can do with this
and
day.
being aggressive and could cause serious harm. And the second, just you could see it was just instinct. It was just like a light tap, right, to kind of keep her off of him. I'm not playing anymore. So when they're beating you up, it's playing. It's a game. When they have their comeuppance, it's a hate crime. Who's they? Try not to be racist.
Don't.
Now, she began training with Garcia after she got slapped by another try not to be racist subject at a Christmas party last weekend.
They're just playing.
Look, guys, are we going to act like, yeah, it's the same across all cultures? That's how you expect a disagreement between two white ladies to go?
She was like, let me look at your phone. Don't grab my phone from me.
Violence.
Yeah.
Violence, immediate answer.
Oh, that's not violence. She just got slapped in the face. Come on, man. That's not violence.
I'm just playing.
That was just a slap in the face. Everybody gets slapped in the face
Okay.
every once in a while.
I'm just playing. And then when someone decides,
You run
well,
your mouth?
I'm not playing. Well, you didn't have to.
Oh man, I'm so not interested in most of this bullshit.
The second installment of Cook County property taxes are due today, and a coalition of African-American pastors are demanding a rollback to the increases.
They say there is a property tax emergency that is destroying neighborhoods in the city's poorest communities.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is in a world of trouble politically. Now, we already have talked about on this channel multiple different times Brandon Johnson's failing approval ratings. However, the property tax issue, which again is something that he already tried to betray the voters on last year and it was shut down by the aldermen, has hit the forefront as the county level assessments have determined that a bunch of neighborhoods are going to have to pay nearly 100% increases in their property taxes in order to compensate for the budget deficit that is the fault of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. However, the latest development is that a coalition of black preachers have decided to come together to condemn Brandon Johnson and demand some form of relief as they represent these very neighborhoods. And make no mistake about it, because of the way that Brandon Johnson ran his campaign, which was a very racist anti-white campaign that was reliant on these black voters, if he loses them and their representatives, it is absolutely over for him. So what we're going to talk about today is this rebellion against Brandon Johnson and how 100% the property tax increases are on him, his administration, and his budget, and how he's going to try anything and everything in order to avoid this accountability, and he has been doing so in the lead up to this particular deadline. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you to everybody who supports this channel over at actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
Yes, the rumors are true. On Thursday, December 18th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be joined on this channel by my literal bestie, Anna Kasparian, and yes, it's real.
It's real, guys. It's real.
For a very interesting conversation. The link to the live stream will be in the description of this video. You don't want to miss it. Again, December 18th, Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, AJW and Anna Kasparian, literal besties unite.
It makes no sense.
At the Cook County building, a coalition of African-American pastors are ringing the bell for what they say is an economic emergency. They say their church members from the west and south sides are being priced out of their homes because of skyrocketing property tax rates.
The disproportionate and unjust property tax burden here in Chicago, while west and south side residents are being crushed by astronomical property tax increases.
So obviously you have the pastor right here that is absolutely livid with the fact that there appear to be disproportionate property tax increases for various black areas in the city of Chicago. But to be clear, the reason that these increases are in fact disproportionately in those areas is twofold. The first one we're going to get into is the idea that these properties have been undervalued for a long period of time. So essentially black residents were getting subsidized with lower lower property taxes than in other areas of the city of Chicago. And then the second issue, which is going to be explained in complicated fashion by this local news segment.
In Cook County, property tax rates are calculated by the Cook County Clerk's Office based on the amount of money requested, the levy, by hundreds of local taxing districts. No single government official, including the assessor or treasurer, sets the rates. Cook County Tax Assessor, this office determines the fair market value and the assessed value of more than 1.8 million parcels
Guy's got
of property
blue,
in the county.
green, and
The
white.
assessor, again, does not set the tax rate or the final tax bill amount. The Cook County Board of Review, this quasi-judicial agency, finalizes the assessed values after hearing appeals from property owners.
So that was a very overconvoluted way of saying that Cook County itself does not actually raise taxes or lower taxes on property within the county. What they do is they look at the proposed budgets, the proposed spending, what percentage of that spending is supposed to come from the property taxes, and then they make their adjustments based on the value of the property in order to arrive at the final number, which eventually you can appeal against the county in order to try to get a reduction. But this is how the determination was made. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Sean, that is not a much clearer explanation of what is going down, but I think this next clip will give you a little bit of a hint of what is driving the increases, because again, of course they're going to give you a vague explanation. They don't actually want to take accountability or pin the blame where it deserves to be pinned, which of course is with the Johnson administration and the city of Chicago as a whole.
A WGN investigates analysis of the situation found that because of the many still vacant downtown commercial spaces from the pandemic, the Cook County Board of Review shifted more of the tax burden to homes and other residential units after giving large tax breaks to downtown properties.
So now we start to get to the truth of the explanation from the Cook County assessors that are determining these property values. And essentially what they're saying is because the budget requires X amount of money to come from property taxes in order to somewhat close the budget gap that Brandon Johnson's administration has laid, they have to get that money from somewhere. However, at the same time, we've also seen a death in terms of office space rentals in the city of Chicago. And unlike other cities that have seen a rebound post-COVID, Chicago has been significantly slower, and this is due in large part to the policies of the Johnson administration. So what ultimately ends up happening in situations like this is that because nobody's renting these office spaces, these buildings are going down in value, because in reality, if you can't rent the space, then the property value is lower than it was previously. So then you have to shift the burden of the property taxes to the homeowners, and it turns out that these black neighborhoods have been receiving low property tax assessments for decades. So obviously this was the logical place in order to go get that money, because again, Chicago refuses to control their spending. And by the way, Brandon Johnson was well aware that this was going to happen, and we talked about this before in a video that we did where a local news presenter ended up confronting Johnson, and Johnson was trying to dodge the issues and the flaws in his budget. But Johnson had this weird line in the middle of that conversation that I picked out as weird at the time, but now suddenly when you hear it, you start to understand what he was trying to lay the groundwork for.
The mayor's office clarifying that the corporate taxes prevent the need for any layoffs or a property tax hike at a time when Johnson says Trump's tax cuts are hurting working people.
We're talking about an additional $1,200 per year on average.
Zuko redeemed legendary creature Elf Warrior.
Cuts to the ultra rich.
So what Johnson was trying to sell to the local news reporter right there is that Chicago taxes were magically going to go up, not because of the spending of Brandon Johnson, his failed economic policies, or anything of the sort, but as a sort of automatic trigger in order to respond to federal tax cuts on wealthy and corporations, which is the Democrats' favorite talking point, that would somehow magically raise the taxes in the city of Chicago. Now, obviously, this is absurd on its face. In no way, shape, or form do federal tax cuts automatically, through some kind of transitive property, raise the taxes in the city of Chicago. But it was weird that Brandon Johnson was trying to make that case, or at least it was weird that he was trying to make that case, up until we figured out that Brandon Johnson must have known and must have seen the data that the Cook County Assessment Office was seeing, and he was trying to essentially blame the Trump administration for the increase in taxes in the
Green,
black
red,
neighborhoods that
black?
represent his
Ugh,
voter base that
what a
he knew
gross
were
combo.
coming. And by the way, this is not my speculation that it is due to his frivolous spending and the problems with the Chicago budget that this is happening. The property tax assessor for Cook County said so publicly when she was explaining how these assessments came to be.
Citywide, the median residential bill jumped more than 16%.
No blues. I'm just gonna run it out. See how it
In
goes.
at least 30 years. The treasurer's office says city spending increased and there are fewer commercial spaces to pay their share of the pie. Treasurer Maria Pappas says there has been a sharp drop in the value of downtown commercial buildings, paying about
How many colors they get in
$125
here?
million less this cycle. That's because of higher vacancy rates over the years.
So make no mistake about it,
forest.
Brandon Johnson is the person who is responsible for your higher property taxes, and again, responsible for the disproportionately higher property taxes in the south and west side of the city of Chicago. And this is why he was again trying to blame the Trump administration for the increase in local property taxes that again are done by the county in response to the budgetary needs of cities like the city of Chicago that are within the county. And of course, this is obvious. It should be obvious to everyone. But again, Brandon Johnson is trying to skate by. But now the black pastors are absolutely livid. They're pissed off, and they've decided that they are going to
Well, he
stand
should have
up
done that
and
on a
try
forest,
to
to
get
be
some kind of
honest.
relief for their constituents.
These pastors are lobbying Cook County and state legislative leaders to act fast, because otherwise, they say, some homeowners will be forced out come 2026. They want rollbacks and, moving forward, property tax caps.
West Garfield Park, we have a 133%
Oh, I need this water tribe, bitch.
in taxes.
Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may be able to create your card with 3
And
less.
so just on the face of it, the immorality
I'll keep it.
of the people in the poorest neighborhood with the highest increase.
Maybe I should have
testifies
Ing's journeyed
that the
first.
whole tax system is a racket. And it needs to be shaken up from top to bottom.
So I want to say a couple of things about this particular pastor being angry, being upset about this specific neighborhood that is one of the poorest in the city of Chicago, receiving one of the highest property
Yeah,
tax
I'll save my,
increases in the
my
entire city.
tutu.
But first, I do have to make commentary on the big city moments that were happening during this particular press conference, which included a crazy person yelling in the background the entire time throughout the course of this press conference. It's absolutely hilarious. And again, it is not surprising at all whatsoever. This is a thing that happens in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, major cities across the country because they have horrible policies on dealing with homeless people. So we're actually seeing a combination of bad Brandon Johnson administration policies converge at this very moment. But again, I understand why this pastor is upset. I understand why his parishioners are in fact upset. But the thing is, it is all laid at the feet of the Johnson administration, who has consistently tried to scam voters into
Let's
paying
see if
higher
I can get away
taxes
with this.
in order to pay off his other key constituency, which of course is
I
the
guess
teachers
they're
union.
fucked.
We talked about this before. I will mention it again. The fact that Brandon Johnson and the city of Chicago are facing a massive budget deficit and an unprecedented chance for a government shutdown for the first time in the history of the city of Chicago, Brandon Johnson is trying to increase spending on public school teachers because, again, this is a guy who is a member of the Chicago Teachers Union who did not resign from his position to become mayor. This is somebody who is just on leave from that position, and
So
that
if I
is
tag
the
with
key
just the cat
constituency that
owl.
he serves, even above black people, who he's constantly pandering to in
1, 2,
order
3,
to get
4, 5.
votes.
Oh
And
no, I
again,
can do this.
This was revealed in the very same local news interview where Brandon Johnson was trying to obfuscate the fact that he was trying to raise taxes in order to cover the
Yeah, and I can
promises
still
that
water
he
tribe
made
if I need
that
to.
union.
The mayor also defending his plan to sweep $1 billion in TIF funds, more than half of which would go to Chicago Public Schools.
What do you say to those?
You can do it
who
anytime
might see
too,
this
so I'll
as
do
a
it at the end of
budget
my
for
next turn.
CPS,
Or
a
his
reward
next
for your
turn.
allies.
A TIF surplus goes to our city colleges.
Ooh.
It goes to our parks. It goes to our libraries.
But the
TIF
majority goes to
surplus-
CPS.
Cool.
Well, because that's the way the law is designed.
Right.
And so investing in CPS, that's a good thing, right?
Now, again, there are very few options for residents of the city of Chicago that are facing these massive property tax increases. The due date was actually December 15th, and even though the pastors are demanding that the county do some kind of freeze or some kind of adjustment in order to benefit their constituents, in reality, they don't actually have the power to do so. But what they did do, honestly, is actually kind of terrible, because essentially what they said is that they put in a new payment plan so that you could pay your property taxes over over 13 months rather than having to pay them at the due date, which again was December 15th. And of course, this essentially makes all the different residents that are facing this massive increase.
Pappas was instrumental in getting the late payment interest reduced and now can be, if needed, spread out over 13 months, all designed to help homeowners avoid that foreclosure.
More akin to
Let's
debt
give me the most
service to
damage.
Cook County. And again, to me, the 13-month extension, and you have to pay property taxes every year, so you're going to constantly be rolling them over into different plans, is not a solution in any way, shape, or form. But of course, I want to know
And
what
I
you
can
guys
still
think down in the
waterbend.
comments below. Do you think Brandon Johnson is in as much trouble as the polling and, of course, the loss of key supporters indicates that he is? Or do you
Oh,
think
has he
he's
got
somehow
something?
going to weather the storm? He's going to call
I don't think this
everybody
guy's got
evil,
shit,
white,
to be
and
honest.
racist until he gets reelected? Or do you think,
think he's
like
fucking
Brandon
dead
Johnson
next
was a
time.
replacement for the terrible Lori Lightfoot, somebody worse will come to power after him and nothing will get better in that city? Again, all your thoughts down in the comments below. As per usual, if you
Yeah,
like
he's
the video, show
sacrificing
my
lamb to
like,
look.
subscribe for more content, follow me on my social media, support me via support links in the description
Look
of
for
this video.
something.
This has been me talking about black pastors churning on the Chicago mayor. Till next time.
Oh, he doesn't even have enough mana to... Yeah, you're dead, man. I'm sorry. It was a cool opener, yeah, there, but...
They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but I disagree. I think the greatest form of flattery is this. That's that Donnie from Wild Thornberrys type riz. But when does imitation go too far? When is it no longer an homage, but instead tiptoes over the line into plagiarism? That's what we'll be analyzing today, and by that I mean I learned about 2 channels that have blatantly plagiarized another YouTuber. I saw this right before going to bed tonight. I'm kidding, because I didn't fall asleep. As you can clearly tell, it's 6 a.m. I've been up all night again. Insomnia is here again, doing that to my damn little butt cheeks over here. I'm tired of it, but
I'm tired of it.
as I was trying to fall asleep and then ended up giving up looking at my phone, I saw that there's a bit of a hoopla about this plagiarism thing going on right now.
Oh, fuck.
And
I should have... Yeah.
you're never going
Damn.
to be
I
able
should've-
to get rid of all
every
the
I gotta look
plagiarism
for
on
blue. If I
YouTube
see
'cause
blue,
it
I
is
gotta make
a
sure I don't get
rampant
quenched.
issue, but I always think it's nice when people do find bad actors like this just blatantly stealing their work. But as I was looking into this big developing story here, I learned a lot of twists, not only about the original video creator, but also the ones that allegedly plagiarized. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first one before diving into a bit more about the original video as well.
So if your views are low or you're scared of demonetization, listen up because I'm going to tell you the 8 biggest changes of the YouTube algorithm, starting with change number 1, Gemini. So it's fully official. Okay, the YouTube algorithm is now powered by Gemini AI.
This one is egregious. They didn't even bother doing the bare minimum of changing a single word from the original script. So this comes from a YouTuber named Rume Ro, and the YouTuber that's copying his video is someone named Belmont. Now this is a guru who is also selling a course. Now I use the word guru real loosey-goosey because that's how these fucking dweebs refer to themselves as. They're scammers, basically. Case in point, if you're going to be purchasing a course from someone on YouTube trying to give you the secrets, bestow upon you the ancient wisdom of success online, just know you're most likely not going to be finding the fountain of youth there. You're probably getting a big load of fucking barnacles. I've never even heard of a course that one of these dorks was selling that was ever even remotely helpful in any way, shape, or form. When it comes to this subject matter, I know in like the fitness space, there's a lot of YouTubers that have courses that are very popular, very successful. I'm talking specifically about this garbage where they have these videos, usually just like a bunch of regurgitated information. In
So
this
it's
case,
4-4
they are
double
literally
strike,
copying
and then
someone else's
next turn
information
it'll be a
in order to try and
3-3.
hawk a course. But like,
I don't think there's
usually it's just
anything I
some
can do about
gone
that.
shit where they're like, "Yar, matey, so you want to get YouTube views? Well, you're gonna have to fork over the funky digits on the back of that credit card for this fucking PowerPoint I threw together haphazardly." It's all trash. Now, an interesting little fun fact, a little tidbit of lore. In the only Belmont video I've watched, he has a gold YouTube play button behind him for a channel called Serum. So I looked it up, and that's this channel right here.
Oh,
And that's definitely him.
Did
Basically, this
I
channel
passed my
is
last
Sniper
turn.
Wolf.
Oh fuck.
If Sniper Wolf
Well, if I lose
was
this one, it's my fault.
a guy who's a huge dweeb. And he hasn't posted in over a year, but he had 4.5 million subscribers. I don't know why he stopped posting. I looked into it, and there's a lot of theories. Apparently, a lot of people seem to believe that he was demonetized at some point, so he abandoned the channel. It's certainly possible, but it's just a theory, a little game theory there. But what's not a theory is that this guy just blatantly
if he's got another
plagiarized
quench, it's
that
okay.
video. I guess he's made his
It's no big
triumphant
deal.
return. No longer is he Serum. Now he's Belmont.
He's only got one card in
And
his
he
hand, so
just takes other YouTubers' videos word for word as his own. Yippee! Welcome home.
Now, for those of you that don't know what Gemini is, it's pretty much Google's ChatGPT. And the job that YouTube gave Gemini is to analyze videos. So technically, it's no longer about tags, titles, or anything that's mattered before. Because of Gemini, now it's what you say, how you say it, and what you show on, like the actual visuals of your video. It understands the tone. If your video is supposed to be
I
sad,
can't block
it
this.
understands it. If being sarcastic, it also understands. Gemini also
Just
analyzes
extra, I might have to
which
cunning
leads me to
maneuver this
number 2,
motherfucker.
trust score.
It's actually fascinating how not only did he copy the script one-to-one, but he even copied the timing. It syncs up
You can't clinch
perfectly.
this either.
He did exact intonation, exact timing of everything here for his blatant plagiarism. I've never seen that before. This is like the equivalent of taking someone else's homework, copying it, and not even changing the name on it when you submit it. It's fucking baffling. Typically, we're about to look at another case of plagiarism from the same YouTuber, actually. Not Belmont, but the same YouTuber had his work stolen by another channel as well, this time a much more popular channel.
Okay, so he didn't have quench in his hand.
I'm actually kind of blown away by how brazen Belmont's plagiarism is. He's got a lot of other videos on his channel, and I imagine all of those are also plagiarized from other YouTubers as well. It seems like that's probably his shtick. I imagine the only reason the visuals aren't exactly the same is because he didn't want to take the extra 2 minutes it would take to crop out the YouTuber from those visuals, because he wanted to just shit and ship this as quickly as possible, a matter of minutes. So instead he just filled it with a bunch of probably stock videos for his points here. Now the next accused plagiarism patriot is Danny Y. Interestingly enough, it's the same topic that Belmont copied, that now Danny Y has a video on that's eerily similar to Rose. An interesting coinky-dink. If I had to spitball and guess
Oh, I should have cunning maneuvered.
I would wager that
I would have won
douchebags like
that.
this probably
Fuck.
consult ChatGPT for
Alright,
what
I
videos they
fucked up
should steal,
twice.
and right now ChatGPT is recommending that one from Row. That would be my guess. Now, Danny Y's video is a little less obvious than Belmont's. He does change some words around, and he does change the order in which the information is presented. Instead of following the exact blueprint one-to-one of Row's original
I'm
video,
just gonna take
he
this.
changes where it goes. But
And
watching
then
them
next
both
turn I
back
can cunning
to back is
maneuver.
still fundamentally the
Yeah.
exact same piece
Good,
of
good, good,
content.
good, good.
Now, another explanation here. Like I said, I don't know Row's content. Maybe it's possible he generated a script for this topic through ChatGPT, and Danny Y doing the same thing. Thus, they came with very similar scripts. I think that is also
There's nothing he can do.
Now, for those of you that don't know what Gemini is, it's pretty much Google's ChatGPT.
And if you don't know what it is, think of it as Google's version of ChatGPT.
And it even understands the tone.
It even picks up on your
So
tone.
he's gotta block
If your
everything.
video's supposed to be sad, it understands
Okay,
it.
that's
If your
good.
video is
That's
meant
good.
to be funny, it knows.
If you're being sarcastic, it also understands it.
If you're being sarcastic in your video, it also knows that too.
So that's pretty scary shit within itself.
And honestly, this one scared me when I first learned about it.
Now, when YouTube reviews your channel, which they will,
Okay,
When
so that'll
YouTube
kill that.
reviews your channel, and they will,
the first thing that Gemini will
Let's
check
cunning
is your
maneuver.
channel trailer.
and the first thing that plays is going to be your channel trailer.
The age of the email
Cunning
and the age
maneuver
of the YouTube
here.
channel.
Use an email that has been around for a while.
The older the YouTube channel is, the better. Just use your personal email.
Maybe your personal Gmail that you've been using for years.
If you have any Google subscriptions like Google One, Google Workspace, YouTube Premium, any of those subscriptions, the
And
better it
then
is.
Even
Slop
better, if
Cards,
you have
see what we
Google
get.
subscriptions like YouTube Premium Premium, Google One, or Workspace, that's extra proof.
Right, you want to show Gemini and YouTube that
A
you're
yip
a human,
yip?
and a human doesn't start YouTube by uploading.
So I can
every
kill
single
another
day.
one of their
You're
guys if I
basically
want
showing the
to.
algorithm that you're a real human.
This one's a bit
And kill
trickier
that
because
one,
he does
or
change
that
the words
one.
around and he does change the order around, but all of the information from Rume Rose is still present here, including his advice that he gives in the original, so it does still seem a bit stinky
And I can
here
still pump my
that
fire
maybe
sages?
he had
Ugh.
grabbed
Ugh.
his script and had AI rewrite
Ugh.
it a bit for his
I'm
video.
coming.
And, you know, there's only so many ways of conveying information if the information is
Damn.
accurate.
I looked
but
at
this
on that
goes
game. I
a
fucked up
little
twice
bit
and still won.
beyond that, where it's not just conveying similar information. He's doing it basically very,
I love
very,
you. I'm
very
glad you're
similarly
back.
to how Rume Rose video covered it. Now,
Ooh.
I had that theory that maybe Rume Rose generated an AI script and Danny Y did the same on the same topic, which is why they'd be similar. And I think there's even more meat to that theory because
Alright, I don't care about this either. Wow. My brain is just not here for
James O'Keefe goes undercover
Slop
on
today.
a date with a professor.
Ever heard of a guy named, no, his name is James O'Keefe. You heard of that? Yeah. Yeah.
Once he realizes that he's actually on a date with James O'Keefe, he literally gets up and flees in panic. Trips. He's genuinely concerned. He's like, "Well, are you okay? Don't hurt yourself."
You want us to call an ambulance? No. Are you sure? Sure. I just want to ask you, why did you call black people that work from the media?
And there are many ethical questions around using hidden cameras and what James O'Keefe does, and he acknowledges that. And I don't have the simple answer. I do think it's important to expose these things, especially when it's a professor, which I think is even more concerning than the fact that this guy is a news correspondent or works with NPR.
The man you see across on an undercover date with me is currently an adjunct professor at Georgetown University.
If this is the kind of stuff he's teaching, that's a little crazy.
So, is she another, like, what you said? Another yeah. Yep. She is. She is.
Yeah, so he's
shit.
Using the C word, right? That ignorant black liberals use to describe black people that don't want to go along with the liberal agenda, right?
He makes it clear that his actual views could not be shared publicly.
You are a journalist, you know?
I'd have to stop being a journalist for me to say what I really want to say.
That's crazy, though.
To give y'all what I really want to say, I would have to stop being a reporter.
You have to stop being a reporter.
I would have to exit news.
This reminds me of the argument that Nick Fuentes is making, claiming everyone is at the individual racist in some way, some more extreme than others. This would be an example of that argument.
I have to stop being a reporter to tell you what I really think.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that. You can still.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Like, but in terms of I'm like on the clock.
Well, that's interesting. Let's hear what he really wants to say.
He's like a social walker.
Okay, next
like,
turn I can Fire Nations and then Waterbend.
What do you think of Candace Owens?
Oh,
She
shit.
sells out to like white people.
Yeah.
Oh!
Selling your soul to the Uncle Sam, the white man, and it's just assuming that aligning your views
Oh,
with
mana
him
value 3
or
or
with that
greater.
point of view is going to get you ahead.
Oh, what a fail.
He does make it clear
That
his
sucks,
grudge
man.
is with black people selling their soul to the evil white man, yet he's on a date with a white man.
He's ready to get in bed with white supremacy. But yet, at the same time, he's accusing black conservatives of selling out to white people.
Because I work with a bunch of stupid white people.
Stupid white people?
Yeah. Like, a spade is a spade. So, like,
I am ashamed, to be honest with you. I have a little white girl. Like,
no, you're fine.
I'm so ashamed of my race. No, Candace is a too.
Yeah.
And he claims that many people share these views. They would probably internally be thinking, yes, you know, I agree with that.
You should say this publicly. I mean, like, it would be interesting, refreshing.
A lot of people would not like to hear my thoughts.
No?
I mean people probably would. They're probably like, you know what? Yes, I was thinking that.
Now we must ask ourselves the question, if the race was reversed and we had video of a white person working at Fox News in the exact same scenario,
Double block
what
the
would happen
jailer, I guess.
with this
The only thing I can
footage?
do right now.
Suddenly the ethics question would
Tell
go up.
Oppa's online to block the
It's fascinating, really is. This stuff should be studied, right? Psychologists should write a thesis on this, okay?
So if you're looking for a Christmas gift idea, this is a great one. The extra card holder pro. They have a
nothing?
variety of different materials.
Interesting.
It comes separately, but you can purchase the tracker device that you can use on your phone to locate it. You can put cash in here. It's really well designed. Nothing comes out. You just click this button and it brings out your cards. This travel vacuum, which is pretty cool. You get the pump.
I guess I can
Put
do.
clothes in here. Vacuum seals. Right now they're running a Christmas sale up to 54% off. Use the code WARREN10 to unlock an extra 10% off at checkout.
Jonathan Franklin's body of work while at NPR was focused on black culture, race, and justice, and here he is throwing around.
What do this for? See what they want to
People
do.
that disagree with James O'Keefe are probably going to find this unethical. People that are concerned with this kind of ideology are probably glad that it's exposed like this. They will probably think it's fair game.
The guy named, no, his name is James O'Keefe. You heard of that? Yeah. Yeah. I don't like him. What do you think of him?
He's alright.
He's alright?
Yeah, could be better. Could be worse.
Could be worse.
But could be
Okay,
better.
and then I can water
How could
bin
he be better?
now that I know it's
Just,
permanent.
They'll be an asshole.
Is he an asshole?
I've heard people he's an asshole.
Oh. Well, he does like the undercover stuff and like exposes people, you know, and he exposes people, you know, telling people like what they really think, you know. What do you think about that?
I mean, there's a lane for that, but it's also knowing how to do it in a way that doesn't attack your integrity.
Yeah, because you have to use like hidden cameras and shit.
Right.
Yeah. You might be wondering why Jonathan Franklin didn't recognize me in the first place, being a professor, a graduate level professor on media and journalism. And Jonathan Franklin actually
she's got a little life
refuses
game
to
now.
believe
South
that
Boy
I'm James
Voyager.
O'Keefe.
And here's where.
Ooh,
it
and he
gets
got another
hilarious and
Pox
goes off the
Villager.
rails.
Oof.
The big reveal.
Okay, so he's gonna draw a card.
Well, the thing is that I actually am James O'Keefe.
Are you?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm not James O'Keefe.
No, you're not.
I am.
Really?
Yes.
And then he panics and literally just makes a run for it.
You don't know that.
I mean, what are we watching? I don't know. I just want to have some fun today, you know? Yes, he falls, and James is very kind.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Do you want us to call an ambulance?
Okay, we'll see if he blocks any of these. Okay, that's fine.
Are you injured?
Yes.
What happened?
I fell.
You have blood? Are you okay?
Yes.
And I still have enough to water
We don't
bin,
want
so.
you to get injured.
Yes.
This is alright.
That's not our intent.
Oh, he does get one life. Fuck, I forgot about that. That's fine.
Okay.
Not the end all be
Are
oh.
you sure you're okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Sir,
Fucking tricked me.
you called.
That
you called
old
black people,
gray-haired
quote,
dick.
You work for CBS News. You're a national correspondent. Whoa! He's attacking the cameraman.
Apparently, he lied about working for CBS, I guess.
You work for CBS News. You're a national correspondent.
I don't work for CBS.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, you're a professor, which makes it worse.
I agree. That is more concerning to me.
You lied about that?
Yes.
Did you work for NPR?
No.
What's going? You're denying your own identity.
Yeah.
If this dude was white, right, and got caught saying the type of stuff that he just said, would he have a job? No, he wouldn't have a job.
He proceeds to take him to the pharmacy to help
Okay,
him
so he's trying to get more creatures there. Yeah?
Water? Why don't you have some water? Here.
He's showing that he. Oh, double. You're right. And he gets to draw a card. Okay, that was a good move. Then.
I told you December.
And where it went from there is anyone's guess.
Oh, and then Momo too. Fuck. Now he's got a blocker.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to make a statement about efficiency in government, because there was a statement from the governor of my state that many of us found quite surprising, where he recently said that long before there was Doge, California was already streamlining government to be more efficient, responsive, and accountable.
Is there anything I can flicker?
Being
That would be
a
worth
model
flickering?
of efficiency in the governor's
The
view.
jailer, maybe?
This came as a surprise to many of us because in the course of just 5 years, during Governor Newsom's tenure, the state budget increased by $124 billion. That's over a 50% increase in spending without really any measurable improvement in government performance. When you look at California ranking first in the nation in homelessness, in poverty, in unemployment, having some of the worst roads, some of the worst achievement gaps in our schools. But I did want to highlight just a few examples that I think are particularly revealing when it comes to the low quality of government service
Scry too.
citizens of
Okay,
California
this guy's
are
ballsy.
receiving. And
He thinks he's got enough life to get through this. That's fine.
lessons that we can draw from that here.
Okay, I don't want to hear Congress bullshit. Get me out of here.
When I first saw Stacey Dash, I was 11 years old, and she was on Mo Money with Damon Wayans. It's interesting because Stacey Dash got back into church, but Stacey Dash is now on OnlyFans.
She knows exactly what she's doing. She's made a career off of monetizing what it is that she looks like. Tries to act oblivious to the steps that they are making to continue to utilize that. They'll discover God.
What's this
and
guy
start
trying to do
talking
here?
about faith and scripture.
Attacking with the
and
3-3?
still be selling components of their sexuality on the side. Peak hypocrisy. Stacey Dash's fall from grace.
Oh,
fall
he
from
needs
the top
that.
Needs to be studied.
Yeah, because he needs
Back in
hair
the
blocker.
90s, she was the apple of every man's eye, darling of the entertainment industry. You'd see her at least weekly on one of these shows, such as Clueless. And now, at the age of 58 years old, 4 times married, 4 times divorced, single mother of 2 kids, has chosen to put snapshots or videos of her body up on the internet on a famous website for the tune of $7.97 per month. Y'all already know a website that I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention it or talk about it too much in this video because they seem to like to demonetize my video when I talk about that damn website. Nevertheless, Stacey Dash needs to be added to the Wallbanger Hall of Fame because she's trying to squeeze out every last little droplet of her looks to stay relevant, to make a little bit of cash on the side. But it's just bad, right? It's just sad to watch. We've seen so many of these women of this type of strong and independent ilk end up just like her because they're unwilling to let go of their entertainment past and, in fact, exchange professional entertainer to adult entertainer, allegedly. Nevertheless, we're going to be breaking down her storied history and what has eventually led to her making this decision with good old friend of the channel, O'Shea Duke Jackson. So without further ado,
I think I
When
win.
I first saw Stacey Dash, I was 11 years old, and she was on Mo Money with Damon Wayans. Of course,
Yeah.
you guys will see the other
There's
roles
too much flying for the
like
log.
Renaissance Man and Clueless, but I'm not gonna lie, Mo Money was the truth.
He's right, you know.
And in the 90s hip hop world, Stacey Dash was top notch. Everybody wanted her.
Yep.
But fast forward,
Crazy as hell.
as time went on,
Look
Stacey
at-
Dash changed. She married and divorced 4 different white men, and then she started doing this.
Do we want to have segregation or integration? And if we don't want segregation, then we need to get rid of channels like BET and the BET Awards and the Image Awards, where you're only awarded if you're black. Just like there shouldn't be a Black History Month. You know, we're Americans, period. That's it.
Stacey Dash was literally Candace Owens before Candace Owens was Candace Owens.
He's right, you know.
Then Stacey Dash kind of went into a really, really dark place. She got fired from Fox, I believe, in like 2016. She kind of fell off the face of the earth, not really doing any projects. She would then emerge on TikTok, and we started seeing stuff like this.
So when the devil tries to get all up in my head,
tell me lies. I turn, I look him dead in the eye, and I tell him, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Amen. Literally, is this Stacey Dash preaching? Yeah, this is Stacey Dash preaching, but wait, she not done.
Then I tell him, behold, Jesus has given unto me power to trample on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, you, and nothing shall by any means harm me.
All right. Before O'Shea goes in, listen, I'm all for upgrading yourself. I'm all for your own personal internal character development. All right. We all ain't perfect when we come out the womb, right? Like we gonna make mistakes. We gonna figure it out. We gonna hopefully, if we're a winner, dig ourselves out, invent something new, chase a new goal, build a new purpose. But however, I notice a pattern, or a trend rather would be a better word, of these types who have willingly sold their bodies to the world before in the past. And I believe that she's been on Playboy. And then once they reach a certain age, notably when that wall hits, they grab a Bible and start Bible thumping, preaching the word of God, as if there was a devout from day one. Now, she still runs heavy with the evangelical content, but my only critique and or criticism is that she's doing this simultaneously while joining the OF subscription train. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And if your personal data has been exposed, go now.
It's interesting because Stacey Dash got back into church, but if you look at her profile, it says official Stacey Dash, Catholic clean mother actress. Now, she is a Catholic talking like this. This sounds more of a Protestant feel, like, you know, shouting at the devil, talking down to the devil can't hold me back. This is not how Catholics talk, but this is how Stacey Dash is kind of talking. She's like a blend in between the two. Now, you got to know that Stacey had a real big issue with alcohol and drug addiction for so many years. And so when she got out of that, she then got into church. But every now and again, we will see signs that...
Ooh, tough.
Yeah.
Hey, so...
You may discard a card if you do return target instant or switching from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, very cool.
Had a good cry. No particular reason. That's just what happens when you have PTSD and...
So she'll have these clips
whenever you cast
of
the
her
spell
crying
Earthbend
because
1. Okay, yeah.
She says she has post-traumatic disorder.
Let's get rid of
PTSD,
that.
which is nothing to joke about. But I know some people are going to feel like, listen, if you're going to have these breakdowns, why don't you do them on your own time instead of putting it out to the world? But no,
yeah, they're gonna get one Earthbend off.
Definitely going to do that.
It's gonna be topped at least.
And not only that.
These are not tears of sorrow, they're tears of love and gratefulness. Because I am truly, truly, truly so grateful for what God is doing in my life, in the lives of my children.
So these are not tears of sorrow, just like God is doing all this great stuff.
All right, I'm gonna be able to Earthbend or Waterbend next time.
I'm not the person to hate on what
I'll just go
God
for the 2 damage.
is not doing in a person's life. Who am I to judge, right?
No, we're going to judge. When I see people in entertainment do this, and more often than not, to me, it always looks like they're putting eye drops in their eye and then hitting record on the button. But when I see them do this, they're trying to harvest a reaction here. And that harvest, the fruits of that labor is views, likes, attention, more eyes towards them. They treat social media
do
as
some more air damage
for
soon.
people that have a parasocial relationship with them that don't even know them, as opposed to
Or
going to a
Kano.
real
Actually, Kano's
therapist.
probably better.
And it's mostly women.
Than
And it's just so pathetic to watch, because this is not a normal behavior. But wait, it gets even worse from here.
But then
Kano land would be good.
And the information that came out, I had to really to really check, and I really couldn't believe myself. And it says this: Stacey Dash is now on Only. You'd be clueless not to subscribe.
Wait a minute. I just want to call this out real quick. Does O'Shea, okay, let's say it's O'Shea's editor. Does he have OF on dark mode? Typically, dark mode is not enabled on these websites by default. I just know that because I have an IT background, okay? So that means that someone made the action to turn this to dark mode, all right? O'Shea, you need to stop tricking it off over there, all right? Relax, my guy.
Okay, I don't know who this lady is. Sorry. Ooh. Quick 4 damage. Ooh, he quit. He was like, fuck that shit. I'm out of here, man. Good. Good. I didn't think this deck was going to be already good, but apparently it is. Or other people's decks just proper shit, to be honest. Probably it. The AI
I thought you hired her to
housekeeper?
come clean the house since you haven't had time to do it. And then sends a picture of her like wiping the fridge, smiling, to which she immediately replies, almost too immediately. Okay, your homeboy is coming to clean my room, but who watched my video that I released yesterday on Sunday about the AI shirtless plumber prank? If not, highly recommend. It's a very fun video, but it essentially explores a new, unique trend where women are pulling a prank on their boyfriend or husbands or fiancés, where they take a photo of an area of their house, usually the kitchen or the bathroom, somewhere that needs to be fixed, somewhere a maintenance man would go to work on something. And you can apparently use AI to superimpose a shirtless man working on things in various areas of your home. So the prank
Hilarious.
goes, they tell their significant other, hey, there's a guy coming to work on this or that. And then they send a picture of him with his shirt off. And they're like, he took his shirt off for some reason. And they just keep sending pictures of the shirtless guy working on things to get their significant other to crash out, have a freak out, so they can get some TikTok content. That's essentially the prank. I went into my criticisms of it, as well as how it also plays on the additional insecurity, not just of you being hit on by some shirtless guy who's conventionally attractive, but also the insecurity that a man has of not being able to keep his partner safe. And when you complain to your man while he's away at work that there is some other man in your home making you uncomfortable, you're really, really messing with his head, because his cortisol is going to spike because he cannot protect you with where he is. Many of these men that I go over in this video literally end up leaving work early to deal with a situation that is not even a situation, because it's all fake, because she has nothing better to do with her day. So a few people were asking, how would this look in a gender swap? And I even brought that up in my own video. I was like, I don't think this would survive the gender swap. I do not think that people would be very cool with it. Well, I actually decided to do a little bit of homework last night to see if there was any male version of this, because I found one comment in my comment section where someone said that they did indeed see the version where a man was telling his girlfriend that a girl in a maid outfit was coming over to clean his apartment. So I found a couple of examples of this. I did find the gender swapped version of the AI house cleaner trend that men are using on their girlfriends. I want to watch these with you guys and tell me, do you feel that basically systematically, or with all of the different dynamics that are at play here, is this the exact same situation? Is it so different because men and women are so different, right? Like, most women don't fear for their man's life if they're around a scantily clad woman. Most women don't actually fear that a woman will physically harm their man. Not that it's impossible, it's just not like the first thing that most of us women think of. Usually our biggest fear if our man is around another attractive woman is that, she's gonna try to rizz him up or something. not so much that
Try
she's
to
gonna
riz him up or
trap him in his
something.
own house and take advantage of him, as a man might be if
This deck's
a
got a
larger
bunch of
man is
allies
around his
and nothing good.
smaller woman. So I want to know if you think that the dynamics are just so
crazy.
inherently different that it's not even the same prank, it's not even the same test. Maybe it's actually even safer to do this prank to a woman. If you think it's just as emotionally abusive, uses too many gaslighting tools to be a fair or decent thing to do to someone, or if you thought that they were both funny both ways. I want to know what you guys think about this. Let me pull it up. Pranking my wife with AI cleaning lady. So she shows up in like a sports bra and yoga pants.
Hilarious.
She's in the context as my wife. He says, "Did you know that there would be a house cleaning lady that was coming in today? She came by and introduced herself and asked if there was any cleaning needing to be done." She says, "No. So you just let some random girl in the house? Who the He says, "I thought you hired her to come clean the house since you haven't had time to do it." And then sends a picture of her like wiping the fridge, smiling, as if it's like a even remotely normal thing to do when you have a maintenance worker over. Like, "Hey, smile, I'm gonna send my spouse a picture of you really quick." Like, I would be so weirded out by that
Ooh,
immediately.
gold tier 3.
He says she just started cleaning. Wife says, "No, I didn't hire nobody. Where are all her clothes? Why is she in my house? Tell her to get the f*** out now. School is pissing me off enough today. I can't deal with this. Kaden, get her out." Dude, this is crazy because it's like truly my first reaction is to laugh. Like, there is something funny about this. And it's funny because
You
like
would love
I would
this prank.
also probably be having the same reaction. I'd be like, "I do not know who this person is. Get them the f*** out of my I would be doing the same thing. So that's why it's objectively funny. But it's actually not funny because obviously if it was happening to me, I would not be laughing. I would not be hee hee ha ha, and I would be just as crashing out. And like, again, these are the same elements. Is when the women do it to the men, they're doing it while they're away at work. They're stressing out their partners while they're at work. So this is like just as diabolical. Your girl is at school. Depending on what you're doing, school is possibly worse than work. I do not miss school at all. It's so funny because I used to say all this like self-aggrandizing bullshit of like, if school was free, I would probably just go to school forever. Hee hee, trying to sound like such an academic. But now, like, Michigan literally just released the Michigan Reconnect program where I could go back to school for free right now. And I'm like, no. Absolutely not. I do not need to be that stressed out. This poor girl is at school, and this man is at home where he could be relaxing. He could be playing Call of Duty, anxiety-free, guilt-free Diablo all day long as much as he wants, and instead he's using it to take pictures of their kitchen and superimpose some girl in the kitchen and stress out his beloved wife. God damn. So then he decides he's gonna follow that up with another picture of her friggin' making a sandwich.
This guy must have razor. Oh, okay, or that. I was gonna say razor wire or something.
Dude, this is just like when AI made the shirtless plumber. There was one picture where they literally had like the junk outline in the pants. I'm like, damn, AI literally made this plumber shafted up for this check-in. Diabolical work. But now AI's got this house cleaner giving him the F me stare from across the room. Diabolical. Now this gets even worse. Like, bro is truly trying to cause the crash out of the year. He goes, "Well, I thought you hired her because she asked if I was hungry and started making me sandwiches because I was hungry." Then he unsends 2 messages. "Bitch, what are you unsending? You already got me rolling up my sleeves. I ain't even dating your ass. You'd have me whipping my engagement ring across the room. What do you mean she's in here making you sandwiches and you are unsending things? You better resend it. You better resend it right now. Kaden, make your own fucking sandwich." She can't. Dude, she's so pissed. She's not even spelling right. You ever been there? You ever been there where you are fat fingering everything because you're like, "She is the biggest bitch in the world." Like, you're just like blood spiking. Oh, Lord, dude. He is sending her to Spiral City. So many gray hairs right now. Why is she still in my fucking house? I'm coming home. Why is there some random making my man a sandwich? What the fuck is happening, Kaden? Kaden, I'm a tweet. Dude, he's making her leave school. Dude, what an asshole. Do you know how much she's paying to be there? Do you know how much money she's losing? How, like, dude, college is no joke. If you miss 1 hour, you are now 7 years behind in the whole history. Like, it's crazy how in college, you'll literally walk out of the seminar for, like, 10 minutes to go pee. You come back and they've somehow covered, like, 7 different wars. And you're like, what? It's like math class that are taught 3 new formulas and now you're getting quizzed on it. Like, you cannot miss any time in college, okay? He says, I wanted the house cleaned and now, I wanted the house cleaned up and I didn't tell her to leave yet because it's free house cleaning. Kaden, I will clean. I swear to God, if she's there when I get home, I'm gonna go to jail today. Even after I tell you I didn't hire her, you're keeping this random girl in our house, letting her make you a fucking sandwich. Like, are you good? Dude, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is so freaking abusive because it's like the game here, like the
Oh
joke
man, this guy's got
is,
double
I'm
gather of the
going
White
to
Lotus.
actively stomp all over your boundaries and your clear communication and stress you out and make you leave class and make you extremely upset. And then there's the other, like, manipulation aspect to this. Like, there are actually, like, pickup artist communities, like, who are incredibly misogynistic, who are literally out there just to use and abuse women. And they teach things like, you know, if you really want your woman to be obsessed with you have to constantly make her think that there's a threat. You have to constantly make her think that there are all kinds of other women you can have, and that will make her act like more of a freak. These are things that men actually teach. They teach things like negging, which is the verb of being a negative person, basically, is like you constantly put them down to make their self-esteem lower so that you basically have more control over them. So what this could be read as is he is creating a superficial threat to manipulate her into doing more domestic labor for him, despite the fact that he is at home doing jack all and could be cleaning the place himself. And now he's managed to manipulate her into thinking she needs to clean more on top of being a student so that she doesn't get cheated on. Dude, that is literally one of the most toxic things you could possibly do. And this is a prank? Dude, what a asshole. Swear to God, if she's there when I get home, I'm gonna go to jail today. I'm not even gonna lie, this would absolutely be my response. Like, you can make fun of me for being a crash out queen, but this would be me. Even after I tell you I didn't hire her, you're keeping her in our house. Kaden says, or Hayden, I don't even remember his name. Yeah, it's Kaden. I don't know why you're tweaking so bad. The house is a mess. It's free cleaning. She offered to make me food because I'm hungry. I don't think it's that deep. So now he's literally gaslighting her. This is the definition of gaslighting. Gaslighting being one of the most abusive things that you can possibly do to a person. You are causing harm. You know you are doing it. You know that you are making up things that are not real, that you are, like, selling her on to make her feel crazy. Then when she's, like, basically calling it out, you're continuing to double down. You're continuing to go, no, you're crazy. You're out of line. You're the one in the wrong here. Kaden, you are a dick. You are an absolutely degenerate loser, Kaden. I'm so mad at you. She goes, are we dead ass? She's a fucking stranger in our house. What? It's not that deep? Okay, when I get home, both of you better be gone or I'm throwing your shit out of the house. Please say you're joking. I'm just kidding, baby. It's AI, not a real person. Well, cool, great. So you ruined our entire relationship over not a real person. Good job, Kaden. Like, caption says, this was funny as F to do. These comments are so bad. This is the bad place. Tell her she's overreacting to calm down. That should help. And suddenly she's totally fine cleaning the house and making her man some food. This sort of, like, this is really dark psychology at play right now. My house, how much of the mortgage does she pay? It doesn't matter, dude. Dude, it doesn't matter. People don't understand tenants' rights. They really don't know. It actually is her
Cool.
house, at least until
Avatar.
you evict her, dude. That's literally actually how that works, though. I will clean had me dead. So these people, it's actually surviving the gender swap test on this one. Like, people are finding it just as funny when men do it. It's not surviving the gender swap test on my end, though.
Okay, I have to kill it, but it's a very cool card.
We got another one. We got some, this time it
Cool card,
actually
dude.
has a little bit more of, like, there's like a little bit
Sorry, I
something
had to
different
kill
about
him.
this outfit. The last girl was kind of like scantily clad and that she was wearing like a yoga top and leggings, but it was like believable because a lot of people would show up to clean in that, honestly. This one though, she's wearing more clothes, but yet somehow it's almost worse. Does that make sense? Those of you who are watching the screen, just because like, is she wearing heels? It looks like she's wearing some kind of like booties almost. She's got like this cute little apron, but her hair is like totally done. Like it's got the curls. She looks like she's got the curls, the extension, like the hair is done. Okay, so AI cleaning lady prank on my girlfriend. Hey, did you book a cleaner? She just turned up. Wife says, I didn't book anyone. Is she from Cleaning Network? He sends another picture of her. Yeah, she's wearing heels. It is like full on like kitten heels, like stiletto, like
I think this guy.
pinpoint heels.
This guy to block,
in the living
right?
room. Also, by the way, like
Just so I don't keep
are these
taking
really
damage.
pictures of
The
these
other one
people's
couldn't block.
houses? Cause the whole thing looks fake. Like you're telling me that just average people have these like massive windows like this. These seem like really nice homes that are actually already
Disgusting.
clean.
This guy's got a
So
disgusting
weird.
deck.
She said she's scheduled for a clean today, so I've let her in. Jack, I didn't book a cleaner. Who is she? Tell her not today.
Tell her not today.
Oh,
See, that's a good reaction.
You unsent a message. Oh wow, now she's on her knees scrubbing. No, she's dusting. She's sweeping up on her knees. She's doing a good job. You've not cleaned in weeks. You know how like there's a version of trigger warning unaliving called Death by Cop, where a person who is so eager to not be alive will attempt to become terminated by antagonizing police enough to believe that he is enough of a threat to just take him out that way. Like, you may have heard of this method, Death by Cop. I feel like that's very similar to what is happening right now, but he's like trying, like a death by spousal homicide is what he's like going for right now. I'm really not trying to victim blame if he does get murdered by his spouse, but at the same time, like, if I'm the judge in the courtroom and you're telling me like, yes, the wife came home and, you know, took out her husband, I'm like, okay, well, clearly we have to send her to jail, but then it's presented in court that like he did all of this. I'm kind of gonna be like, we gotta drop it to second degree, boys. It's not first degree. It's definitely not first degree. I'm not victim blaming. He still wouldn't deserve to die.
Damn,
but
this
it's
guy's
not
got
first
some
degree at
cool
that point.
ones.
You definitely helped send her there. Corey says, I've been married for 19 years. We've been married long enough to where most shit is whatever. Never do this to someone you love. My wife would delete me. Okay, see, I'm glad I'm not the only one making jokes about spousal homicides here, because
I think I have to
dude,
keep everything
you're
up,
pushing your toe
unfortunately.
in the line, dude. The
Yeah, I gotta keep everything up.
weeks. Even if you just said that out of the blue, without any of this other
This guy's got so many
context,
cool
you're
cards.
looking to sleep on the couch. But
Meteor
with
sword,
this
too?
context, Jack, you're a dead man. She says, I don't like this, Jack. This
Damn.
doesn't feel right. Tell her to leave. All caps. He scrolls down, and now she's cleaning the dishes. I'm not gonna ask her to stop. She's almost done. Ask her to leave now. Jack, answer the phone, Jack. Oh my god, now she's like in a robe? And she's like wiping down the dressers? What? Why is she wearing my dressing gown? Jack, hello? She spilled water on her clothes. I said you wouldn't mind. I do mind. Don't let her touch my stuff. Please call me. She wants me to play a game with her. This one definitely seems fake. This one definitely like doesn't even seem real anymore.
This can be 6-6, which means I can double block with cat owls.
Not even just because it's AI, but like this entire interaction by this point. Because like you're telling me all of the rooms look like this, and yet he's gonna like even try to play the "you haven't cleaned in weeks" card. It looks like that house hasn't been lived in weeks. Get her off my bed. I'm on my way. Couples Vault is our game? Oh my god. So it sounds like this guy has actually like upped the ante significantly. This guy is playing the game in such a more diabolical way than I've ever seen anyone play it yet. Because with the last trend, all of the girls were following like the same script.
I'm gonna lose 2 games in a row.
Oh, he's here to clean and he's like conventionally attractive to start. Then he takes his shirt off. Then he asks if he could like test out the mattress. But like this.
Oh, do you have to fight?
Personally tailored.
You have to? Oh no, yeah, you can cancel. Okay.
To her. Like he plugged into the AI. Now make her wear my wife's dressing gown. It's getting mean, y'all. Now, but this one might take the cake as far as the initial start goes. Pranking my girlfriend with the AI cleaning lady gone wrong. And this lady, she's not just showing up in the kitten heels, y'all. She is in the full-on, like, Spirit Halloween adult section. Like, your adult novelty store-ass maid outfit. It's buttoned all the way down her cleavage. We've got half tit out here. It starts with, guess what? What? This cleaning lady said after she's done with the neighbor's room, she will come clean mine for free. You live in a dorm. There are no cleaning ladies. Yes, look. He sends the picture. Oh, hell no. You better lock your door, I swear. If I see your room is clean, I'm not playing, boy. Hold on. It escalates quickly. He says, what? It's free and my room needs it. To which she immediately replies, almost too immediately. Okay, your homeboy is coming to clean my...
What time is it? 11? I'll be right back. Okay. I don't know if you're here or not, but so we gotta move the truck. We gotta move the truck. 2 losses, 6 wins. Come on, I just need 1 more win.
My room, but don't worry, he said he won't.
there's like a bunch of officers that park across the street there. I think they on break they kind of just chill out in front of that field because there's like a spot that people can chill out on. And one of them came over and he was just like, "Hey, we see that truck's got a flat tire and the tabs are expired." He says you're gonna have to get that off the street, or the city's gonna come tow it. And I told him that it wasn't registered under my name, and I bought it, but it broke down immediately, and that the owner we bought it from wasn't gonna give us a refund. So he says, "Well, if you don't get it off the street, the city's gonna come tow it." And I said, "Well, I could put it in the backyard." And he said, "Yeah, if you put it in the backyard, that's fine. Just can't be on the street." And I was just like, "Okay." So worst case scenario is they come and tow it, and we're out $1,000, and it's somebody else's problem. Best case scenario is we can move it somewhere and we can like in the backyard or something like that. I don't know. I'll think on it though. I don't want it to be a big problem, but I kind of wanted to keep it because I know it will run. It'd be nice to have a truck around, but just one of those things. Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like I don't want it to be a big thing for us to have to like move it around and do that stuff. I'd rather them just tow it, and then it's not on us. So, but maybe I can. The other thing that we can do is we can fill up the tire, and I can move it forward with the truck in front of the house, and that'll buy us some time to. It's already a problem. Fuck, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right when you're right. Yeah, we can fill up the tire, and then I can use the SUV to push it, so it looks like we're doing something with it to buy us time to get it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I think we it's the expired tabs. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you might be right. I might be, but I don't want to register it. I don't want to register it. To get the expired tabs on, because then it is our problem. The flat tire is not helping. Yeah. Another thing we can do is no, we're not registering it. Yeah. Because then it will be our problem. Maybe I'll call. Maybe I'll call a tow place too, because I'm sure the city would have to do it. Yeah, you would have to go through the city to get it towed for free if it was like just in front of your house. Yeah, I don't want to get fined for it either. Even more in the long term. Yeah. We're definitely not registering it. Yeah, we're definitely not registering. Yeah, we can list it. We can list it. Yeah, it's not free if you go through like a personal thing, but if you go through the state, it's impound basically. Yeah, impound basically. Yeah. We can list it for like a little bit of money, and then if nobody bites, then I'll see how much it would cost to get just a tow truck to just move it to the back. I don't want to put it in the backyard yet until I have concrete though. Yeah, they're just gonna have to take it. Yeah. I say we use the SUV to push it further back. Actually, no, from the back side they should be easily able to take it. Yeah. Yeah. If he stops by again, I'm just gonna let him know that he's just gonna have to take it. And the story will be that like we bought it from somebody, and we can't get it registered, we can't get the tabs updated, and we can't move it because it broke down immediately, and they just refuse to give our money back. And then that's just gonna have to do. And they're like, oh well, you can't keep it on the street. And I'm like, well, you're gonna have to tow it because it's not my problem. I'm already out some cash. Yeah. Sucks to suck. We need to find out what they're going to charge us to take it. We will have one of those donations places come to get it for $300. Oh, I would love to do that. Oh, I forgot about that. The thing we did in Tacoma, yeah. We can't just let them come take it. It's not free. Yeah, let's donate it. 'Cause then at least we make some of our money back. And to be honest, the amount of money that the SUVs saved us is, like, I'm pretty sure that thing's going to be good for a while, so I'm not worried about having a third vehicle or anything. Yeah, the roads will come back to bite us in the ass. Okay. Wash our hands of it. Yeah. Yeah, that's. I kind of wanted to keep it, but not if it's going to cause us problems like this. I wanted to keep it for fun, but if it's not going to be fun to keep it, then I don't want to keep it. Donate to veterans. Yeah, ask the cop for a little more time, and we can donate it. Well, he's gone now. He's probably not going to bother us for like another week or two, because they're out there, every once in a while. He was just letting me know, like they're off. I think they're off duty or they're just chilling, but he was just letting me know that I couldn't do that. He wasn't like, hey, if you don't move it in a week, we're gonna tow it. He was just like, hey, like the city's gonna tow that truck if it stays there. Yeah, so this we do this well, yeah, and we can write it off our taxes for this year, right? Tax deductible receipt. And we can write off our taxes for 2025. Yeah? Okay. We do this. Write it off. Write it off our taxes. Okay. Yeah, looks like it's still $500 when you write off your taxes.
What's this? Harassing an elderly worker for wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt?
We watched this last night.
I feel like men have gone too far, right? Sometimes I feel like men have gone too far. Because this video that inspired me to create this video, it's like, whoa, this is actually bad. Like, I wouldn't do this, but damn. He looked her dead in the eye. The Asian guy looked her dead in the face. She said, my legs are hurting. I'm gonna be real. Call me simpy in the comments. I wouldn't have gave my C up. I'm sorry. I just would have done it. Just out of just guilt. Man, he's looking at her like, you know, stand the fuck up. What are you talking about? Oh my God. Who's gonna be the boys?
A lot of women that would not be okay with the man opening up the door, they would take a personal offense to that, and that was always really surprising to me. Like, why are you?
Why?
They thought that it was the man kind of saying like she's incapable of, instead of looking at it like he is being polite, and in those little moments and those gestures, it's like it's showing safety, it's providing, right? Providing is a lot more than just a paycheck. And then they would start dating more of these effeminate men, and then kind of circle back and realize they actually liked the more dominant behavior, like the behavior of like a man kind of leading. So they say like men have a relationship to death and women have a relationship to life, which goes back to like showing up. What's that scary noise downstairs? Or there's even if like, oh my God, there's a spider in the corner.
Chivalry didn't die for no reason. Men didn't just become this overnight, just randomly, right? That's not how it worked.
You guys for all the attention you gave me on my recent video. I appreciate all of you. The comments really surprised me. I mean, I knew I was gonna get some of these, but I didn't think that there would be more negative ones than positive ones. I want to know why these guys are comparing a simple act of kindness to women submitting to the patriarchy, to feminism, to equal rights, like calling it rage bait. A lot of you are losing the plot. How is respecting women rage bait? How are you getting to a point where being kind to a woman is making you angry? How is doing something so simple as giving up your seat and allowing a standing woman in front of you to sit down, how is that seen as giving in to women's entitlement? There's a problem in this generation where a lot of you think you don't owe anybody respect, so you start to be blatantly disrespectful to everyone and you think it's cool. But a lot of you are acting like you don't owe anybody, especially women, human decency, and that's an even bigger problem. It's common in many cultures to give a woman your seat, to pay for her meal, to hold the door open for her, to be a gentleman. Why does it have to be about the patriarchy? Why can't it be about just respecting women as in...
The more patriarchal a country, the more likely you are to see heightened levels of chivalry, because men and women are not equal. Women don't have certain rights. So chivalry is almost like it's given to like balance the playing field, right? The more equal a country, the less chivalry you are going to see, because we are operating on an equal playing field. Over here in the West, men respect women as their equal because that's what we've been told to do. So you might see, as crazy as it looks, you might see a video where a bunch of guys are sitting down and the women are standing up. Because if a man was standing up talking about, oh my God, my legs are hurting me, we look him just like the Asian guy, dead in his face like this. That's actually treating you with respect. It's just an equal level of respect. It's exactly how we would treat a man. You view that as disrespectful. That's literal equality. It's literally equality. So, as you guys can see from the video, I think these women got into some sort of a... Did they get into a crash? I don't know if they got into a crash or, you know, the car wasn't working or whatever. I don't really understand cars, okay? But...
I won all my games. That's good.
All that men are just walking past, nobody's helping them, right?
How many packs do I got? 7 packs?
This comment's hilarious. Me and my buddy were
Pack one.
standing on the sidewalk, all hungry,
Ooh.
and not one
You
woman
got a rare
came
anime
over
pick in this
to
pack.
make us dinner.
I got May.
And that is
I
literally...
played against this card earlier today.
I noticed about so many men. I didn't say all, so immediately delete your paragraph and get out. They
And a
really
mythic
only become
rare
gender abolitionists
wild
when
card.
it comes to something that they don't want to do. They only start being able to recognize gender inequalities and discrepancies when it comes to something they don't want to do. Like, you woke up this morning,
Ooh,
you use he, him
Zookeeper.
pronouns, you
Good.
call yourself a man, you're he, him, you're a man, you dress like a man. All of those things are by choice. But when it comes to paying
Game of
for
Two Lovers
something
is
for
cool.
a woman, no,
We
can't
got
do
another
it.
gold
Pulling
wild
open a door,
card.
no, can't do it. Giving a jacket, no, can't do it. Like, if you're gonna be what is a man, what a man is, can you go all out? Like, we're in a femicide, like, globally.
Femicide? Oh, the Ran and Shaw card that you got. With the dragons.
You don't
Very
want to
cool.
hold open the door for somebody. Or that you don't believe in chivalry. Okay. You're not a man, you're a secret third thing, and that's
Raven
okay too.
Eagle.
Whoa. You don't get to do that. You
That's
play,
pretty cool.
You don't
To draw
get
the second
to
card.
call
Stay.
men or insinuate men are gay or whatever. You don't get to do that. You're one of those. You're one of them.
Oh, I played against this card earlier as well.
That's crazy, okay?
Tough.
But
Hard-headed
what
teacher.
the hell does a femicide have to do with me or you? Am I contributing to a femicide? No. Also, men aren't picking and choosing. These men are choosing.
This is the first time I got the lightning strike from this one,
There's
huh?
no picking and choosing. There's no.
Katara the Fearless.
Like, you don't have a
If a
bunch
triggered
of men
ability
who are like,
an
"No,
ally
I
you
treat
control
women
triggers
equally,"
that
and then go,
triggered or that ability
"You must
triggers an
treat me
additional
equally."
time. That's
That
very
would be
cool.
crazy.
I like that a lot. I build a deck around this. I go first pick.
Is finished. It's absolutely finished. I genuinely want to cry my eyes out. Like, I am just so absolutely frustrated with this generation in terms of dating, in terms of men, in terms of fucking hell. But yeah, let me tell you the backstory. So get this right. So I'm at the gym.
Reach
like, a
gold
couple days
rank
ago,
and either
whatever,
constructed or
and it's
limited.
back
Very
day,
cool.
You know, I was feeling good. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get to the workout. Anyway, I go to the lat pull down machine, the one where you pull it down, and I'm a 5'4" girlie. Okay, so I can't reach high things. You know, like, you know, it's a tough situation for us girlies out there. You know. Anyway, so I'm at this lat pull down machine, and basically I need to change the thing. We'll call it the hooky thing. I don't know what the word is, but I need to actually change the thing. And like I said, I couldn't reach it. So best believe I'm there struggling for 2.5 to 3 minutes. I don't even know how many minutes I was struggling for. I was up there struggling. I was like jumping up, trying to reach it, trying to unhook it, rehook it, that kind of thing. Thank God one of my friends was there. Like, in the end, he came and like rescued me. However, no one, not one male person was there to help me. And I'm surrounded by a group of guys, and not one guy asked, oh, sorry love, do you need a bit of help with that? No one, nada, niet, nadie. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, what is going on with this generation? Because, like, you're acting like as soon as you help me, I'm going to ask you for your number, I'm going to ask you for your hand in marriage. I don't give a shit. All I want is some help. Some help. Fucking put
Sucks to be you,
the thing on
Lars.
the thingy and just literally, like, I want to get back to my workout. You know, I don't care.
about like anything else. Like that's all I want, and you can't even go and help me. Like,
Hell.
I actually want to cry my eyes out, man. But yeah, chivalry is dead.
That's funny because that's actually something women would be worried about, right? They do something nice for a man, and the man's gonna perceive it as they like them, right? That's not something men would. Men would probably
Avatar
like.
Aang first pick.
Why didn't you
Whenever
just
you
stand
waterbend, earthbend, firebend, airbend,
on the seat
draw a
and just do
card.
it like that? That could maybe
And if
be
you've
the
done
seat that is
all
disrespectful
4
to
of
stand on
those,
the seat,
transform
but
him.
I think nobody cares, right? Everybody was minding their business, but just keep it, right?
Spells you cast
woman is in a
cost
situation
less.
surrounded
At
by
the beginning of
men,
your upkeep, you may transform Anglona.
none of
If
the
you
men
do,
are
gain
paying
4
her
life,
any
draw
mind.
4 cards, put 4 plus
kinda
1
what
counters on him, and
women
he
actually
deals 4
dream
damage to
for.
each
Well,
opponent.
it's kinda
Holy
what
shit.
they really wanted that, to be able to be around a bunch of men and not feel threatened because the men just weren't paying them any mind. I think men go out of their way to not pay women mind in certain spaces. I genuinely believe that, especially in the gym with the clothes attire and the kitchen. I think there are men who
Say.
actively don't look at women, don't acknowledge women in the gym.
And they're like, he opened the door for me, he paid for my food, he walked me to the door. Oh, I love him, he's such a gentleman. It's like, no! That's what he's supposed to do!
If that's what men are supposed to do on dates, what are the things that girls are supposed to do on dates? I'm genuinely asking because I've never heard anyone say this. Men are supposed to ask you out. They're supposed to plan the date. They are supposed to open your door. They're supposed to buy you flowers. For some people like that. Some people don't. They're supposed to pay. They're supposed to pull out your seat. They're supposed to open your car door. All those things. If those are the list of things that men are supposed to do to be considered a gentleman or chivalrous, what are the things that
Today
girls
needs to be
are
over.
She
Is it that
says
bad?
chivalry is dead, and she hates how her girlfriends go on dates. Guys do those things, and girls are like blown away by it. Now, I agree. Guys should do those types of things. Also, chivalry's not dead. You just don't date chivalrous men, and that's your fault. But I've never thought, if those things are baseline for a guy, baseline, the bare minimum, as women like to say, what is it for a girl? You can't say wearing a nice outfit or looking pretty in any way, because over and over again in my comment section, I'm told that women do that for themselves.
So here's the thing, and I mentioned this before. Chivalry, just like the laws around marriage and the laws when it comes to men and women being together.
It's dumb stuff, but really irritating. Everyone
Those were
complaining so much.
created at a time where women weren't
Yeah, you have been.
so they heavily
You got
favored
zero
women,
tolerance from
just like
complaining
chivalry.
lately.
Women didn't really have like rights in society. So chivalry, when it came to dating, heavily geared towards women. Everything is about them. So when it comes to being chivalrous, when it comes to the traditional relationship dynamic, women aren't supposed to do anything. They're just supposed to show up and be nice and look nice. That's their role. The problem is, women are equal to men now. It hit different. It hits totally. And the same goes with the laws. The laws don't make any sense anymore because women are equal to men now. They should be changed and not changed. In the context of everything, imagine playing the role of a traditional man and you're with a feminist.
Everyone has to be here and suffer, so why make it worse?
Chivalry
True.
is so dead, and I might be being a princess right now. I might be in the wrong, so correct me if I am. I'm open to criticism and feedback. But for my last 2 gym sessions, I've been at the gym, and like a few days ago, I was carrying a 20-kilo barbell weight. Anyway, and there was a boy next to me. He was probably like my age. He was carrying a 5. Explained to me why he made me wait to put away my 20-kilo weight. As a 5'1" female, let me be clear. And he was a tall guy, and he was carrying a 5-kilo weight. He made me wait. Now, you know what? I thought maybe it's a once-off. Maybe this isn't a thing until today. Today, I was at the gym, and I was carrying a 20-kilo dumbbell again. And there was an old man. When I say old, I mean like 50-something maybe. Like old enough to know what chivalry is. You know, raised on it. He was carrying 12-kilo dumbbells. I had to wait because he wanted to go past to carry the 12-kilo dumbbells. Anyway, I don't know if I'm being a princess right now, but something about that just rubs me the wrong way because I don't know. I'm not trying to play the I'm a girl card, but I kind of am because like, I feel like that's just common decency. But maybe I'm being a princess. Maybe I'm being a princess. I'm open to constructive criticism here. But, like, it's not like their weights were heavier. They were literally lighter than mine. And they were making me wait. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm out of pocket. I don't think I am, but maybe I am.
This is a simple question that you have to ask yourself in these scenarios. Do you expect special treatment because you're a woman? That's it. Just ask yourself that question, answer it. Because yes, the kind thing to do would be to allow you to go. But would he allow a man to go, or would he treat the man with the same amount of respect as he treated you with?
If I'm okay, so it's like that $1 million question when they say, like, if you're walking with your man on the street and like a group of guys disrespect you, what do you expect your man to do?
It depends. It depends what the group of men are. I would want my man to defend my honor always, with the thought and intention of knowing how to read the room. If these were like
ostrich or this one? Gets +1 for each creature card in your graveyard. Is an avatar in addition to other types. Intended creature dies, milk
look
cards
at
equals
him
his
like,
power.
man, we dodged the bullet together because I'm not trying to die and I don't want you to die. So there's
Think
that. But
ostrich,
if this is just a Joe
unfortunately.
Schmo on the side of the road who's getting crazy, or he's drunk and tries copping a feel or saying something disrespectful, then I expect you to knock him out, period.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this? Because I feel like this is a hypothetical that, you know, maybe
I don't
you've
think I
thought
need
about
red
with your
block.
friends. A group of guys disrespect your woman. Essentially, really and truly, they're disrespecting you, right? In front of your woman. What do you do? And I think, like the woman said, it is totally dependent on the situation. If it's 6 niggas, and you know they're just niggas, I'm just walking past, minding my business, right? What if it's 3 niggas though, still minding my business? I feel like it solely depends on the situation. Cause I'm not trying to die. I'll be real. I'm not trying to die.
I'm not trying to die.
I actually think, as long as they didn't touch her, I'm probably just minding my business. I'm just keep it walking, keep it stepping. But then even if they touch her, it's just like, oh, like why? Because now
Waterbending scroll. Draw
I mean,
cards for the cost
have to
bonus
do
for each
something.
island you control.
But again, depends on the situation. You guys let me know.
This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let this go. This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let
Firebending
this
student.
go.
Forgot
For
I'm
sparring
happily
dummy?
married and pregnant for a second there. We're all single at a Jonas Brothers concert, married woman, tanned and shaved, also married with
I
5
think
kids.
sparring
We can
dummy
do
will
it. Actually shaved my whole body and
come
I'm
back
married with
around.
3 kids. Is it happily if it's
Oh,
not to
Day of
Joe
Black
Jonas?
Sun?
Solid point. I'm married with 3 kids. I'm gonna go to his concert on Saturday with my daughter. Just gotta look my best when in the presence of Joe. Dozens more of comments just like this of other married women encouraging each other to go out and be a
When I see videos like this, I'm not surprised or anything. I don't really care, because a lot of the husbands will look at this as a joke. Yeah, you know. Yeah, she likes that famous celebrity. Oh yeah, you know, my wife has a big
Green,
crush on
red, fire
They don't
shrines.
care. If you don't care, if you love it for you, I also love it for you. You know what I'm saying? It's good for you, it's good for me, it's okay. It's not my life, it's your life, it is what it is.
97% of women would rather go to jail
than admit fault. You think I'm fucking lying? Penn State University, July 15th, 2025. The study investigates a hypothesis that a significant portion of the population, particularly women, may consciously prefer incarceration to the psychological and social burden of admitting fault. 3,292 women, 3,854 men. Among female participants, 97.4% consistently chose being incarcerated over admitting fault. 11.4% of men chose incarceration over admitting fault. I need all the bitches
I need
that were in
this
the comments
cycle
on my
renewal.
women are all
I
the
want
same
Bossing
fucking post. I
Say.
need them to get their fat asses here right the fuck now. 90 fucking 7.4%, bitch.
Oh god. Well, look. Firstly, you have to understand what 3,000.
I need this
it's
cycle
only
renewal. I don't
3,000,
know
right?
how many
Number
of those
one.
I'm gonna get.
Number two, Penn State. So it is the younger generation, younger than me, for example. They're cooked. Like like my generation, in my opinion, is a bit messed up, right? But the younger people coming up, they're finished. In terms of dating and how they perceive things, and in terms of how they perceive it, they're beyond cooked. So this definitely isn't a fair representation of women.
I should have took
as
Bossing
a
Say.
whole.
There's another
It
one
could
right
give you
there.
a little
Cycle
bit of an
renewal.
insight on how the younger women think. And look, we know that there are tropes and there are, discussions around women, accountability, apologizing, these things in general. So I could understand how something like this could be taken seriously.
The American woman who got attacked in Colombia was 5'5". She fought off her attacker as her 6'5" boyfriend stood behind her. As he watched his girlfriend fight back, he hid himself behind a pillar, waited for a stranger to intervene with his helmet. When things got too violent, he fled the scene, waiting for other strangers to intervene. And when his 5'5" girlfriend and complete strangers managed to fight off the attacker, he felt comfortable to stand beside her. Like, oh my goodness, whatever happened here? Are you okay? My line of sight was blocked off by the pillar. Finally safe to stand beside her. And if you're wondering if she's still with him, she is. Bro, did you know in Colombia, we got attacked by a guy? Thankfully, I was there to save my girl.
So the caption of this video is, but men are providers and defenders. And this is what propaganda looks like. This is exactly
propaganda looks like.
How propaganda works. They will take a story and not twist it, but leave out like very important parts of the story, right? So the first thing I'd say is this, because I've got the video and I'm going to put it up for you guys. Do you guys, firstly, we know all men aren't the same. Do you guys believe, based on watching this video, that this guy is like a conservative, traditional protector, provider? Do you think that's how he carries himself around? If you had to guess, would you think that he was more traditional or more liberal? Just guess, if you had to guess. Like, that's number one. Number two, random strangers, the men who came and protected her. The men who came and protected her, and then the women who came to try to like stop it. But men are protectors and providers. Yeah, the men came to protect her from a bad man. One bad man, about 7 men came. Her boyfriend was a bitch, okay? But if you had to guess, if you had to guess what type of man he was, he's probably a feminist.
Let's say, like, you're dating a guy, you meet as homeboys, and you realize, like, he ain't the leader of the pack.
I can't.
I don't care about what they look like, but I want my man to be the head honcho.
No, he has to be the leader of the pack.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't date him, but my friend dated a guy, and it was like a group, and I was dating, I guess you could say, the leader, and then the other friend was dating my friend, type of like, we were a group, and she was like, yes, I don't think I could do it.
So these two women, very attractive, right? Talking absolute nonsense, though, but very attractive. They're in their mid-30s. Yeah. Talking about the leader of the pack. This is what I always say. At some point, you don't have to lower your standards. You just have to change the things that you value, because those things, they aren't working. At a certain point, they clearly aren't working. You have to change up. But that comes with maturity. And I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about, mental maturity. Because some people are 35 acting like they're 18. It don't make sense.
Don't call me a jigaboo for saying this, please. Y'all know how I get down. But listen, why do I feel like growing up, y'all know I hate my nose. I have since I was younger. But why do I feel like growing up, every person that made fun of my nose, used to call it big, ugly, used to call me big nose, whatever, was a black boy. I'm telling, and all of my other, I think I only ever had one girl say something about my nose. Me and like black girls, we never used to tear each other down ever. We still don't. It's a sisterhood out here, honey. Y'all are my homegirls. But I feel like when I was younger, black boys used to make fun of me and my friends' looks all the time. And it was always something that had to do with like, it was always a black feature, something that was considered like a black feature. Always. It was like a constant, like constantly being brought up, constantly being made fun of. And I still see the same thing happening on social media today, except it's grown ass fucking black men. I will literally never understand that rhetoric. Like, I don't understand why black men have always felt so comfortable from young tearing black women down, because I'm not the only person that said that. A bunch of my sister's friends, a bunch of other black girls have been like, yeah, growing up, black boys were always making fun of my looks. And I'm like, what? Like, I genuinely want to know the psychology behind that. Why are we always getting tore down by our own people? That's weird. But anyway, see, like black women, we could never, like we be uplifting each other. But black men, I don't know what's going on with y'all. Like I just saw it on social media in someone's comment section. They're making fun of this girl because she had very large features, calling her ugly, saying this, saying that, and it's all black men. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
Get over it, man. Jesus Christ, get over it. You're fully grown adult. Oh, growing up, black men used to, but get over it. Oh, black women didn't like me in school. Get over it. Get over it. If you go looking for certain things on social media, you'll find it. You'll find it. So you're out here looking for things to confirm your bias. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. When you live around black people, guess what? Your friends are going to be black. Your bullies are going to be black. Your girlfriend's going to be black. Your boyfriend's going to be black. Everything's going to be black if you grow up around black people. What is the point of what you're saying? Do you think white people don't bully other white people about their features? Oh, this person has ginger hair. Oh, this person has blonde hair. Oh, dumb blondes. What's the point of this video? You're giving off extreme coolish vibes right now. I'll be real.
You wish that was you, huh?
It never gave divest so hard I let a crack play in my face. Y'all literally crash out on black men for mentioning your hair. But you let your crack post this online? The levels of self-disrespect that you guys will take yourselves to in order to be accepted by white people is nuts. Like the old folks say, if y'all can't share a hairbrush, y'all need to be...
I guess everyone just kind of makes fun of everyone, you know? It is what it is.
A lot of men don't want to see coercion as rape because then a lot of men would have to realize that they're rapists. And this is why anytime a sexual assault victim comes through, their first response is, oh, well, you just regretted it, and now you're saying it's rape. Duh, she regretted it. She regretted it because you coerced her. She didn't want to have sex in the first place. If somebody says no to sex, and then you're trying to figure out ways to get them to say yes, that's rape. A lot of men have never had consensual sex. If someone isn't a willing participant from the jump, it's rape. This is what I think happened with the Tylil and Jordan Pauline situation. I believe that he coerced her, or at least that's what she's alleging, right? Just based off of what she said, like that's my assumption or belief. Because when she said that he has her head shoved down and then he pulls out his phone and starts crying, she started crying because she didn't want to be there. Not only are you humiliating her, right, by trying to record her, shoving her head down, like, do you not see how, like, all of that is a humiliation ritual? Have sex with someone who didn't want to have sex with you, like, coerce them, then begin filming them, then you have them in an inhumane position.
Crazy
then
logic.
You tell all of your friends, too, on top of that. Like, I don't think y'all understand the, like,
psychological abuse that goes into
Where is the grape? In everything that you just said, where's the grape? What does him telling his friends have to do with grape? Her being embarrassed, her being ashamed, what does that have to do with grape?
every step of that. So abusive, it's such a mind fuck. Like unfortunately most men will never understand it. A lot of women, unfortunately, will never understand it too because they've been raped so many times. They've just gotten like used to it. That's the truth. A lot of women have been coerced into sex, but they are never going to believe or say that it's rape. For one, because we shame sexual assault victims, and for two, because it's so normalized. Like coercion and rape is a part of sex culture. Sex culture and rape culture, unfortunately, are like one thing in America, right? This ideology where a man is supposed to dominate a woman, that's rape culture. Even the language that we use about sex is rape culture. Banging, screwing, smashing, putting people through mattresses, drilling, like all of this is rooted in rape culture.
A woman saying that
A woman saying
put through a mattress is rape culture. Rape culture.
Even the way we depict rape in media makes it easier for rapists to commit
He's
rape.
so
right?
self-destruct trying to do these mental gymnastics.
Psychologically damaging act. We convince victims who are going to potentially go through rape one day that it is better to just sit there and lay there and take it than to fight back against an attacker. If you know that if you fight back that you're going to end up being raped anyways, but emotionally more damaged because you tried to fight back and couldn't get away, you're more likely to just sit there and take it. So every time we depict rape on television, we're helping rapists get away with committing rape. Oh yeah, I think a lot of shit is rape culture. Do I know if what happened between Jordan Pauline and Tylil is a fact? No, I do not. But every time that y'all get on here and say, she just regrets it, yeah, that's because you coerced her, and that's rape.
There's only one type of feminist I respect, and that's the type of feminist who believes that they're equal and they act like it. Every other demographic of feminists to me is flawed in one way or another. You have women out there, feminists out there, who will tell you they are equal. They can do everything a man can do, but they'll find every single way to infantilize themselves. They will do all types of mental gymnastics, all types of think pieces to infantilize themselves whilst, again, looking you dead in your face and telling you that they are equal to you. If there's an investor who comes to me and he says, hey, I have an opportunity for you here. Real good opportunity. You could make 10x your money. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Oh no, it's a bit risky, man. I don't really know if I want to put that, it's very volatile. I'm not really feeling that. No, listen. I'm telling you this right now. This is a guarantee. It's going to happen. It's happened 10 times in a row. People are making their money. You're like, it's risky though. Come on, man. I'm telling you, you can make all your money back. You can make 10x. And you go, okay, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm with you, whatever. Let's just do it, man. You've convinced me. Fuck it. Let's go for it. You put your money down and you lose all of it. Were you robbed? No, you were not robbed. You were not robbed. You were coerced into making a bad decision that you made. You made a bad decision. Hold that. Okay? She realized mid-stroke she wasn't feeling it. She started crying. It's done. It's over. He stopped. It's over. It's not grape because she consented. Consent. Consent means no grape. If he took it without consent, that would be grape.
Should probably take these ostriches
So we're
out.
gonna end the video off on something light here. I got a lot of comments about that Animal Planet stuff. Everybody was loving it. Shouts out to you guys. Okay, we're gonna end it on some.
I'll take these ostriches out.
This
So I don't mill my
there's so many
egg.
different types of shit. Something that I really do enjoy watching is like the ancient animals, the extinct animals. I sit back and I think, man, there's a reason why we weren't alive, because what could we do against these demons?
Humans are lucky that we do not exist at the same time as hell pigs. This extinct nightmare creature was taller than the average human and weighed as much as a small car. It was a mammal that was like a combination of a pig, a hyena, and a bear. But it's even worse than that because it's closely related to hippos and it can open its jaw just like a hippo. So you imagine this sprinting towards you in the middle of the forest and suddenly the name hell pigs makes total sense. Their teeth could slice and crush, and so we find bite marks in a ton of different fossils. But they also ate a lot of plants, roots, they did a lot of scavenging, just whatever was easiest, they ate. And so hell pigs, or Entelodontidae, were an extremely successful family of animals, lasting for over 20 million years. But if they were so strong, why did they go extinct? Well, it's kind of a mystery. Climate change definitely played a role. Forests turned into dry grasslands and savanna. There was also competition in the form of predators like the bear dog, which is exactly what it sounds like, and big cats, both of which were much more intelligent than the very small-brained hell pig. But there's something funky about hell pig fossils, which is that we find a lot of them around dried up watering holes. So one theory is that they just ran out of water. And so they went extinct 15 million years ago, which is of course very sad, but I can't lie, there's a little part of me that's kind of glad we don't have to share the earth with this terrifying creature.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, this would probably be like the bottom of the food chain type shit. Like this demon. There's two ways to look at this stuff, right? Were we lucky that we weren't alive back in those times? Sure. But they're also lucky that they're not alive today. Yeah, because I always tell people this. There's no animal that ever existed that if you place them in modern day that they can do anything to us. We conquered the food chain. Or the food chain. We at the top. We conquered the whole thing. And now we watch the food chain for our amusement. Okay, we would have taken this demon and put it in a cage somewhere and, you know, had it on Netflix documentaries. Same with dinosaurs, same with anything. Now, back in those days, you know, primitive times, if we didn't have any technology, and you could make the case that if we were alive during those times, we would have never been able to advance because they would have just taken us out.
This liquor got me in my zone.
Please don't milling. Please don't milling. Please don't milling. Please don't mill. Woo! I think I'm okay with taking it. Yeah.
You know that there are a bunch of liars, right? The people trying to foist the narrative on us that Britain,
Let me be
England,
free.
the United Kingdom has always
Spider, can I
been the first
leave?
melting
I mean,
pot of people from all over the globe. It's just bollocks. And the more that the evidence comes in, the more that it's quite evidently not true. I mean, at the beginning of the century, England was literally 99.9% white English, probably more. The rest of the country, of course, utterly homogenous, and had been for thousands of years. The number of people who came here from 1066 to the Norman Conquest is lower than the number of people who have come in the last 10 years. Like, it is insane how small a percentage of the people of this country actually originated from overseas. And yet, the narrative is constant. They're constantly beating the drum. Oh, here's the first Black Britons' true origins have been revealed. So this is a woman they called, was it, Beachy Head Lady. And she was dubbed one of the earliest Africans in Britain because they thought that she looked like she was African. And it literally just comes down to exactly that, right? Here's how they came to this conclusion. The facial reconstruction was done by Caroline Wilkinson of Dundee University, one of the country's foremost reconstructors. Straight away on seeing this girl, she said, "Oh my, you realize you've got a sub-Saharan African here. Really? Our osteo hadn't picked that up. But Caroline subsequently had it looked at by 2 more experts who agreed without being prompted that this individual showed many traits of being a sub-Saharan African person. We were 100% sure that this was the origin of this lady. There are certain skull features that you can tell are Caucasian or African. We didn't know her carbon dated that.
I could have told you that.
Financial audit is because she doesn't make any mistakes with her finances. I wasn't crying to my audience for money. I make no ad revenue anymore, and I haven't for a year because Twitch took it away from me when I was wrongfully banned. I said the only thing wrongful about your ban is that it wasn't permanent. And now she's going on Twitter acting like that she's a victim. She said, I said it was a quote ass take because he didn't want to do charity for Palestine because it would upset some of his audience when an act of genocide is happening. I mean, how are you in any position to tell somebody to keep their money whenever they're going to be donating it to somebody who is, by your own definition, enduring a genocide? Why is she staying in the US if she hates it so much? Because people like her pretend like they hate the United States, but they're actually just as capitalists. Ridiculous.
Oh, socialist, why won't he give these guys money? Trust me, if I offer support, you won't know about it.
I mean, another classic case of Diddy Piker here. Enough money to help his friends like this super easily, but chooses not to. Instead chooses to spend his money on his own luxury trips, luxury items, flexes money on like horse betting or something, like a true socialist, right? Meanwhile, Froggen has to literally suffer there. Casey Tron literally losing her house and everything like that. And all these people who have been sucking up to Hassan for years have finally realized his true colors. Even Casey admitted that she was disappointed in Hassan. She was like, oh my God, what a betrayal.
I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hassan Piker. Speaking honestly, I found his indifference to my suffering
Double
hurtful,
flying.
especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes.
And I have to jelly
Also,
that
I just
guy.
gotta say this about Froggen. You're rejecting a free 20K. I'm sorry. You don't get to go on stream and beg to your viewers for an extra $5, an extra sub, when you're rejecting 20K in front of you. At that point, it's just disrespectful to your viewers because you're asking them for their hard-earned money when you could just be getting it from this random rich guy here. And if the situation you've actually portrayed online is actually true, then you definitely need this 20K to survive. You were talking about how, oh my God, it's my job. I need to focus on the money. Oh my God, nobody's donating, like implying you're essentially broke and stuff. So, like, you would obviously be accepting it, but I guess these people's egos are simply too big. Froggen is just a whole package. Everything is big. I feel like the logical decision here is obvious. If I was struggling, for example, I would probably take the 20K and then maybe pay him back later or something. Also, he does get content for his channel, so it is technically a fair exchange, and you get to pay your rent, and he also reviews your finances, something you desperately need, right? Because you're pretty fucking stupid. I feel like the only reason you would reject it is if you're actually ashamed of your financial budgeting, for example, but then you said, oh no, it's actually good, but we already know with your expensive nail purchase that's completely false, and I don't care if you said it was your friend. I don't know. You also mentioned the price, so I don't believe you. Pure responded she ate the invitation. She's got a face for radio and a voice for silent film. Hijab of the Hut. When she goes camping, the bears have to hide their food. $120 nails, that's like sparkling glitter on a doctor. Okay, that is diabolical. Good, leave the veterans alone. Put the fries in the bag, stop eating them. I can't believe Froggen got $100 nails when there's an actual genocide happening. My God. Froggen the Pizza Hut, that's a new one. 2 times Twitch, rising sugar levels. Twice the pride, double the fall. Okay, we
It's a Sunny's reference. That's too funny. Okay, fair enough.
They don't have a Richter scale for that one. Moving on to Caleb talking about the other Hassan orbiter starting with Denims. He's going
You gonna
after
eat
all
Momo?
of them. Caleb Hammer crashes out after Denims questioned his
No.
ability to help
Okay.
people solve their financial problems.
Now we'll leave you with nothing. Good luck.
As an idea, why don't we give people the tools so they don't fuck their life, or they don't fuck up their credit score, or whatever it is.
We do! They all raise their credit score and pay off tens of thousands of dollars a day in just a year, you dumb fuck. More impact on this world in a positive, real-world, per-person experience than you will ever do!
Yeah, I'm lucky that I...
You're lucky because you got a big pair of tits, and that's the only reason anyone watches, let's be honest. And we enjoy them.
not to get higher education.
Oh my god, absolutely cooked. But honestly, I feel like that's a reasonable crash out because Denim's genuinely gotta be top 10 stupidest people on the planet. Legitimately nothing is going on in that brain of hers. Reminder, she reads effect on Scream and immediately assumes the opposite. Play the clip.
You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. The average age of adults' earliest memories is 3.5 years old. You're not really forming memories at 3.
I mean, who does that? You have to have your brain screwed on backwards. She's like Patrick from that one episode when the plug is like disconnected. And honestly, he's completely right there that Denims would have absolutely no viewers if not for her appearance. She's kind of like Hassan in that sense, right? Nobody watches for the content or the quality of their thoughts or, you know, their political commentary. It's just something to look at while some tier 3 simp is jerking off to you. It is a miserable, pathetic, humiliating existence where you sell your soul
forgot
for
about
money
this part
and
of the
you're
card.
still losing. How do you still lose? Wow, you took the shortcut in life and you still lost. Wow. Unpopular opinion, Caleb is not a financial coach anymore. He now acts like a therapist and even with that obsessively weight shames his guests. Do you mean weight shame is judging how much they spend on outside food or actually insulting the weight of each guest? Because every time I see people criticizing him, it's very disingenuous takes on what he says. We got Giga Chad going, weight shaming is good. Listen, again, I'm not intimately familiar with Caleb's channel or anything. I'm not really into that type of content or whatever. I know it's pretty popular, but in this specific case, I feel like the argument that's being had is completely stupid. And we'll look at Caleb's longer response to Denims as well, and I feel like he's the more reasonable person in the situation. Right, so then Caleb finds out in real time that Denims is a complete moron.
Okay, and not all business bros, but somehow it is always a business bro that acts in this specific way. He runs this stupid fucking show. I've always hated the show. I hated it. Everyone fell in love with the show, and I've always hated it. It's always struck me as like, you've been buying Starbucks and avocado toast.
Welcome to a financial show about people's spending. We've only complimented Denims, we have nothing against you. Why are you being a cunt? What the fuck is happening here?
She just doesn't like financial. She hasn't said yet that she hates Caleb Hammer. She said she doesn't like the show.
I don't like the show. You're spending on Starbucks, i.e. the entire show. Okay, yes. Okay, good. You don't like it. It's crazy. It's wild.
No wonder you can't have a house, dummy. And
well,
you
if they
never
blow
said that.
all their money.
No
I've never said that about Starbucks spending, but you're right.
Or the avocado toast boomer
Never said that
perspective.
once. Never said that once. But we see people spend 30-40% of their money on literal going out to eat and bullshit. Yeah, that's gonna prevent them from ever getting a down payment. I don't know how math works where you're from, but that is one of those things.
I mean, this is a pretty dumb argument by Denims because you need to look into the nitty gritty and the specifics of each person's situation, right? In order to accurately assess their financials. I mean, obviously people can end up spending a ton of money on something like Starbucks or expensive food, especially if they're going out over and over daily as well. It definitely adds up if it's part of your regular expenses like that. And there's people legitimately out there who are so stupid, they think like Starbucks coffee is a necessity. I can't live without it. First off, you can definitely live without it. You're obviously just addicted. Second off, if you really need it, then you probably get like the cheapest one or you make it yourself. You don't spend fucking $20 on some fancy ass coffee that's probably filled with sugar that's trying to kill you anyways. And yeah, you don't need to eat out every day or order DoorDash or whatever. And you know, this kind of reminds me of some of my old college mates as well, where their logic was so dumb. They would penny pinch over breakfast like $1 or $2, right? And they would purposely starve. This isn't like downgrading to something cheaper. They would purposely not eat breakfast and they'd be like, I'm saving money. But then the instant the new iPhone or the MacBook came out, they would buy it on the day. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't need this shit. It is so dumb. It is so brain dead. They'd starve themselves for like half the year in order to purchase this thing. And it's like so brain dead. Just enjoy your breakfast and buy like an older model, which is literally the exact same thing. Or maybe don't just buy such an expensive brand anyways. I mean, legitimately, all of this stuff like financial literacy, money management was always common sense to me. It just came naturally to me. But apparently some people are just fucking stupid, like Frogan maybe, and Denims probably also fits the profile. So then Denims calls it poverty prawn.
It is literally, it is peak poverty porn, and it's peak like...
Well, again,
but it's not poverty porn. When we have people, we don't just have people on that make minimum wage.
No, in fact, we don't even get homeless people on.
No.
We have a couple times, but that's like something we avoid. And actually, we don't allow people to come on unless they have a job.
But they were homeless people with jobs.
And the only reason why we no longer have people on the show who are unemployed is because the audience didn't like that you couldn't make a budget.
Yes. And listen, and here's the thing. Our favorite episodes are the one who's literally earned like $200,000 a year or more.
Yes,
That's
those
it.
are so juicy.
Poverty. Again, she's kind of falling into the same camp. You remember when I said earlier in the full live stream that we did that there's a lot of criticism out there? Most of it's not valid, but you have to take it all in and determine what is valid and action on it. Papa God made some valid criticism. She's not, because she doesn't know the show. She's talking about something she doesn't know about. And also, that is funny going from someone who makes literal porn. But, you know, she hates the show. She doesn't know what the show is. Poverty bullshit. I mean, that's a snark talking point of people who don't know anything about the show. We don't have people in poverty.
Oh my God, he's absolutely cooking her. So Denim's talking about prawn. Hello, you're literally an OF girl. Bottom of the barrel to scrape some money because you have no actual talent. You're a disappointment to your entire family. And it's no surprise Denims is talking about something she has no idea about. That is literally her entire job. In fact, even when the facts are on the screen, she can't. Like, it's legitimately impossible to reason with people like this. Also, she learns from the best. Hassan, who also makes it a point to talk about shit he has no idea about. Meanwhile, people who are actually honest will literally just tell you, okay, I don't know much about this specific area. Like earlier in this video, I told you I don't intimately watch Caleb Hammer's videos or whatever. I'm not gonna pretend I know everything about it, and I'll make that clear. I'll give you that disclaimer. Meanwhile, Hassan and people like Denims will just pretend they know everything about it. Right, so then Denims goes the route of taking away personal responsibility from everyone, basically saying that, oh, people are horrible with their finances. I mean, that's not their fault. You're just humiliating them. They just grew up in X environment, had X situation in life. I mean, yeah, sure, but it is also your responsibility as a grown adult now to educate yourself, regardless of your background or how you grew up or whatever. It is your money and your finances in your life, and you need to try and fix it. You can't just blame everybody for your problems. That will never lead to anything good.
And guess what? If you solve these problems on a more systemic level, people become more financially literate when you give them the tools. Whereas this entire show is just like,
oh, here we go.
Well, you're a
by the way,
fucking
we
idiot
give
for
people
not fucking
financial
knowing
tools
that.
and they become
And,
more
like,
financially
maybe they
literate.
are
Yeah,
idiots,
Christian, where's the mouse?
But,
Sorry.
What are we doing?
They got a fucking
We're reacting
shit
to a clip.
hand dealt to them. A lot of people don't get the luxury
Christian, where's
of
the mouse?
having learned this.
What the is she talking about? We give people the tools.
Right.
Systemic problems? Girl, literally, there is not a systemic problem why someone is spending 40% of their money going to McDonald's and Panda Express.
It really, we've all been there. All three of us.
Yes.
And we've all been in situations where we've blown money and then realized, oh, I can't do, like, this is not sustainable. Right?
Yeah.
Where I want to go in life, bills are stacking up, all these things.
What's crazy is there are actual systemic problems, but in the worldview she's in, everything has to be a systemic problem, and there's no personal responsibility. And when you call out personal responsibility, you become a fascist.
Yup, exactly. You're basically a fascist if you think people should educate themselves about finances, have a basic level of financial literacy, and know how to handle their money. And by the way, just a quick rant here. This is legitimately the worst mindset in life, and you will never become successful if you blame all of your problems on other people. If your mindset is always, oh, the entire world hates me, my life sucks, I was extremely unlucky, even if that's all true, even if you acknowledge that logically that's all true, it is still your job to fix your life. You have to take responsibility, you have to take accountability, and it's a much better route than actually just blaming it on everyone and expecting God to fix all your problems for you, or the government, or whatever, some other entity outside of you, maybe donating your last $5 to Hassan, hoping that he will give you free healthcare in a communist utopia. That's not going to happen, at least not for now, so you need to take personal responsibility and improve your life on your own, get a job, improve your skills, find a way to make money, etc., etc. And nobody's saying that life isn't tough or anything like that. Everybody has varying degrees of bad shit happen to them. It's how you respond and tackle to that makes you the person you are. If you're an OG, you obviously know I've had some of the worst shit ever happen to me, and here I am, more successful than ever, healthier, and completely bounced back. And part of that is because I didn't blame anybody else. I said, okay, this is my life, and no matter what happens, I will fix it. I will bear the responsibility of my own life because I want to live a good life. And that's kind of like a principle of stoicism as well, which is funny because you should have learned it from iDubbbz here. Not very stoic of you. Focus on things in your control. Ignore the things out of your control. And that was your episode of Life Lessons from Pegasus, only in the Legendary series. Right, so then Caleb absolutely loses it at her.
And guess what? If you solve these problems on a more systemic level,
systemic is not going to. We have the highest disposable income in like the Western world outside of like micronations where it's just like city states. We have the best disposable income. We have more money than most people know what to do with on a median level, not even average, median. People blow their money on bullshit. We are consumerism culture.
Right.
There are systemic issues. It is not systemic issue that someone blows 40% of their money on McDonald's. Come on. We got to do better than that.
People become more financially literate when you give them the tools. Whereas
Which
this
we
entire
do.
show is just like, well, you're a fucking idiot for.
No, you're a fucking idiot because we literally give them those tools and you don't know that because you're criticizing a show that you don't watch. We don't deal with people that come from poverty usually. We don't deal with people that are homeless or don't have a job. We deal with median earners, if not high earners, who are fucking destroying all their money. Not dealt a bad hand. They chose to lay down their entire hand and blow all their money. You are criticizing a show that you haven't watched. You can take a few clips, which I'm sure would be your reaction to this, is take a few clips out of context. Other than that, with the 3 we upload every single week, Monday through Friday, you have no idea what the you're talking about.
Holy cinema. Denims actually does need this lecture because she's probably going to watch this and legitimately call him a fascist, right? The go-to response, right-wing Nazi right here. Oh, he's hiding behind his financial channel. He's actually a right-wing grifter. And he even clarified there that he's explicitly talking about people who have money and end up wasting it through dumb decisions and end up in these horrible situations. Now, the systemic thing obviously does exist. Life is unfair. We all know this. We all acknowledge this. But it's an entirely different argument to paint 100% of your life's outcomes to this unfairness. That's when you just lose power and lose control. And then why do we even exist? If everything's out of our control, why do we even try? That's just like such a doomer, dumb mindset. And it leads to a completely failure of human beings, such as yourself. And I've explained this before, but this actually makes up a large percentage of people like Hassan and Denim's audience here. People who are utter failures in life, and they just wanted to blame it on somebody else. And they think that Hassan is going to be the messiah here. He's going to bring about free healthcare. It's been 10 years, buddy. He can't do shit. He's not even a politician. I mean, what the fuck? At least, like, that's already delusional, but he's a Twitch streamer, man. I just don't know what you expect. Right, so then she randomly talks about how business bros are the scummiest people.
A lot of people don't get the luxury of having learned this stuff before they fucked up their life.
Exactly, that's what this show is. Are you actually stupid?
I think it's a more visceral hate for me because these people in person are like, they are some of the worst, scummiest people.
Okay, I still have a chance to win this game.
What was she saying? The business.
As
bro.
crazy as that saying.
Apparently I am.
Okay.
I'm the business bro.
As
First of
crazy
all,
as that saying, I still have a chance to win this game.
I'm not liking the segment you're doing, but I won't hate you after this.
God forbid you have a successful business and try to grow a successful business and employ people and pay taxes.
I have a very normal life outside of this that is not any different than if I had a YouTube channel or not. Don't know what you're criticizing right now. Now she's making a general criticism.
Oh, no.
Personal.
Okay, hold up. Let me take over here.
Is that gonna make me draw a card?
We actually hate her. We don't like Denims on this channel. Horrible person, evil person. Mrs. Kids can't form trauma at 3 years old, so it's okay, to send
I can still draw
CPS to their house. Yeah, I'm not gonna like her. I'm sorry. Also, she's so stupid. She legitimately ran out of commentary. She's not actually used to talking and providing transformative commentary. She's used to sitting there, you know, looking at the screen, stealing somebody else's content, and staying silent and eating a salad or whatever, right? So she doesn't know what to say, so she just brings up some random shit. Well, guys, actually, business bros are so rude. I mean, what does that even mean? Is that like anybody who studies business or finances or even has a business? I mean, does that include every person on the planet? Because you have to somewhat study finances to exist in this world, to understand a little bit about money, unless you have your daddy pay for everything. Like, legitimately brain dead. Then Denims talks about how meritocracies are bad, and of course she would have this take.
Because she doesn't know what she's talking about.
He's like, these are the type of people that like you'll hold the door open for them and they don't even address your presence. It's like you're not even
Damn.
I literally say thank you.
I was cutting it so close.
I've seen it.
The fact that I had to draw one more card fucked me.
Yeah, no shit, lady.
And they
I should have just
unironically
attacked with
believe
UA.
meritocracy
No, because the
fully
next
and
turn I
solely,
would have died
which is
anyway.
like,
Well,
Yeah.
I just strictly believe
Okay, this
like,
deck is
I don't want
trash.
anyone to go hungry or anything by any means. Let's just talk about when I hire people. I will hire the best person. I don't hire based on skin color or gender identity. I don't believe in that kind of shit. I hire based on who's the best for the job.
Oh, don't worry, Denims. You definitely aren't here because of your merits in conversation or, political commentary, streaming skills. We all know why you're here, and it's genuinely embarrassing. You are the secretary hire, if you know what I mean. But yeah, honestly, only Denims would complain about people being hired based on their merits. Like, oh yeah, if I'm looking for an editor, for example, I'm gonna look for the worst one. Actually, I need to make sure my videos actually suck, guys. I need to make sure they're gay. That's more important. I gotta make sure they're a certain skin color, right? It's like so stupid, and this is the only logic that works in the Hassan Squad. They are so racist. They are so focused on gender and skin color. It's disgusting. It's weird, and I love just seeing creators from the non-drama sphere discover in real time how brain dead the people are that we actually deal with on a daily basis, right? Oh my god, hopefully more Pegasus uses parts of this video the next time he covers her in one of his videos. Pure cinema, you got it, pal. Thank you, Charlie, and to all the people who sent me this video as well, because that's how I found it. Wait a minute, the GOAT, more Pegasus mentioned everywhere, makes the best series. Okay, guys, you guys are too sweet. Dan Clancy, don't make me bring up Dan Clancy. Now click this video or you pass out and miss the legendary series of Fate Worse Than Death. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Damn, I know. If that Aang didn't make me draw a card when I attacked with him, I could have won that turn. But the fact that he made me draw a card, I had 0 cards left, so I lost. Sorry, eh? I could have attacked with UA, but then next turn I wouldn't have any cards to draw either, so it is what it is.
I got top surgery when I was 15.
At the age of 12, I was approved for a double mastectomy.
He's standing up for the right of kids.
Nicki Minaj is going off about trans children, and while some people are upset, like Gavin Newsom and even her own fan base, there is a growing segment of society, including some of the LGBTQ+ community, that is happy about this. Speaking out against trans children shouldn't make you transphobic or homophobic, because in reality, more often than not, more people are concerned with the fact that it's a child that we're referring to. Children can't even consent to have sex, but all of a sudden you're saying they can consent to change their sex for life? That doesn't make sense. And yes, there are trans children getting double mastectomies to get their breasts removed.
At the age of 12, I was approved for a double mastectomy.
There are trans children who are changing their voice, and their voice is never going to be able to change back. There are trans children going through things that are going to affect them for the rest of their entire lives. This is documented, this is something that is happening, and this is something that detransitioners are sounding the alarm on. And again, speaking out against trans youth doesn't automatically equate to hating trans people and hating gay people. Sadly though, because the left and the Democrats and the modern LGBTQ+ community wants to view themselves as this big tent and this all or nothing attitude, that is self-destructive. You're making people just say, you know what, F it, I hate all gays, I hate all trans, because you're effectively making people hate you. There are actually just regular adults saying, hey, I'm very libertarian on this. Do what you want when you're a grown adult. If you want to transition, that's fine. You want to be gay, that's fine. But leave the kids alone. That's all they're saying. And you have modern day left and the LGBTQ+ community saying, no, F you, you're transphobic, you're homophobic. Well, then damn it, I guess they are. You're making them effectively become what you don't want them to be, because you aren't being real and you aren't being realistic with yourselves. And that's exactly what we're going through in this video. We're talking all about trans kids and Nicki Minaj versus Gavin Newsom and so much more. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe.
But we didn't get into trans sports. That's an issue no one wants to hear about, because 80% of the people listening disagree with my position on this. But it comes from my heart, not just my head. It wasn't a political evolution. It was position being that I don't think it's. I want to see trans kids. I have a trans godson. There's no governor that's signed more pro-trans legislation than I have.
So I'll give credit where credit's due. Gavin Newsom has come out in opposition to trans women in sports and like really focusing on the biology in sports. I will give him that credit. I'm glad he did that, and I'm glad he makes that distinction. However, I do find it problematic so that he wants to see trans kids and he wants them to be visible and he cares about them. I'm all for caring about a child if they actually have like gender dysphoria. That is a sad thing that they're going through, and there's things you can mitigate that with like social transitioning and then like waiting until they're an adult to make these decisions. But at the end of the day, there is something very clear that matters when it comes to the context of this conversation, and that is children. They are quite literally children. And it upsets me that there's so many people out here just openly, willingly advocating for trans youth, trans children. That's disgusting. Again, that child can't even consent to have sex. They cannot consent to have sex, but you're going to sit here and argue for them to have the right to change their sex for life.
At the age of 12, I was approved for a double mastectomy, and I went under the knife a couple weeks after I turned 13. Listen to my voice. Testosterone did this. My vocal cords are so large, I can't scream. I have difficulty speaking sometimes.
It is happening. Double mastectomies, voice changes, the whole nine. If we were just socially transitioning and we're
I got
bringing
angry
back
my
the
first
era
time, so that's
of like
pretty dope.
tomboys and tomgirls, and if they stay that way, they stay that way, and if they grow out of it, they grow out of it. Cool. That's fine. But the main kicker, the main difference when it comes to trans youth and trans children is the medical side of things. Because we're going to get into this later in this video, but people like to equate the gay community and the trans community and, oh, if there's gay kids, or if kids, you knew you were gay when you were in 5th grade, then obviously these trans kids know. Okay, sure, yeah, I'm not saying they don't exist. Are there children that go through gender dysphoria and it's actually like a real thing? Yes, but the main kicker is, if you have a gay kid, that's not altering their entire life. Maybe they think they're gay. Maybe they're not. Maybe when they grow up, they're like, oh, actually, that's not for me. I'm straight. That doesn't matter. That hasn't changed their entire life. But the same thing cannot be said for trans children when a trans girl gets a double mastectomy because of gender affirming care and trans youth rights, and then they grow up because we all change. We're not the same person we were when 18, 21, 25. They grow up and they're like, damn, that was a bad decision. I regret that decision. I wish I didn't do that. And that actually happens, and that's who we're speaking up for, because a lot of these trans people are not being filled in on the impact that trans surgeries and bottom surgery and all those different types of things that they actually do, the harms that come with it, all these scars, all the medicine, all the tears, all the pain, all the money. There's so much baggage and physical harm and mutilation that comes with being trans that you can't even associate it with anything else. And honestly, I'm really, really glad that there are more detransitioners stepping up to the plate and doing something about this, especially in regards to pursuing legal action, because these cases can be worth millions, especially if you get injured. But thankfully, if you do, you can check out Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Everything is free unless you win your case, which that alone blows my mind. But two, their lawyers, they don't play. Someone got offered $20,000, but after they started working with Morgan & Morgan, they got $120 million. This person right here got offered $16,000 pre-trial, but after working with Morgan & Morgan, they said, nah, I'm gonna need you to add a couple zeros to that. And I get it. A lot of us haven't had to go through something like this, but we all know fighting a big company means having a big law firm by your side. And if you end up working with Morgan & Morgan, they will fight to get you every penny that you deserve. It only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case. You can do that by going to forthepeople.com/Amir. As you see here, you can receive your free case evaluation on a multitude of case types. And remember, when you hire Morgan & Morgan, you're not hiring just a lawyer. You're getting a dedicated legal team, case investigators, paralegals, and a customer case specialist, all focused on maximizing your settlement. So if you ever got seriously injured, or I hope you're okay, you're injured right now, you know that your case could be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from finding out and changing your life forever. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan by going to forthepeople.com/Amir or scanning the QR code here on the screen or tapping the link below. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
We'll do this
in response to the video of Gavin Newsom that we just covered, this is what Nicki Minaj had to say. Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha. Not even trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, and happy kids, not Gav. The Gav knocks,
cool.
the Gav
Waterbend
out, sending
ascension.
the next guy
Never
on board. She's also said, want to see more trans kids, Newsom, gruesome, haha. Fire victims, nah. Talking about the LA fires, Hollywood, nah, going after the elite Hollywood and how corrupt it can be. Swatting calls to home with innocent children because Nicki Minaj's house has been swatted before. Gavin wants one thing, trans kids Newsom. This makes me want to laugh really loud. Gotta admit, I'm funny. And Nicki Minaj is totally right in this. She's able to call this out because why are we sitting here advocating for trans youth? Again, they're children. The average adult out here just wants to see children happy, having fun, prospering. But what we're doing is, sadly, too many people are pushing kids down this route to transition and be trans, when in reality, they can just be themselves. There's nothing wrong with the little boy wanting to play with his sister and her Barbies for a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. And just because you see a little boy pick up a Barbie, all of a sudden doesn't mean you have to chop his off. And since Nicki Minaj has tweeted this, there's been an uproar on her fans and a lot of the left and other stars calling her out, saying she needs to retire. It's been a hot mess, but it's also been revealing, seeing so many people misconstrue Nicki's words, or even saying that she's fighting against trans people in the gay community. In reality, she's just speaking out against trans kids. Because something that a lot of people don't focus on, people don't highlight, is the amount of child detransitioners who regret what happened to them, and their
the
voices
Exile
matter too.
Zuko card.
My name is Claire, and I'm a detransitioner. A week after I turned 14 years old, I was put on testosterone by Dr. May Lau at Cook Children's Hospital in Dallas, Texas.
14, a week after meeting with the doctor, put on testosterone at the age of 14.
Damn.
Let these kids grow up. Everybody
good combo.
hits puberty. No one likes their body changing. It is the most awkward, weird place to be as a kid, as a teenager. But they have to go through it. We don't need to be catering to all these children. Oh, we'll stop puberty this, or you'll get a double mastectomy here. No, let them grow up.
6 months later, Dr. Alan Doolin with the American Institute for Plastic Surgery in Plano performed a double mastectomy on me. I was too young to get a tattoo. I was too young to drive. I hadn't even learned algebra in high school yet.
Hadn't even learned algebra. Can't even get a tattoo, but can get a double mastectomy because the doctor said, yeah, that'll help her mental health. Yeah, this would be good for her because she's a trans kid and she wants to transition. These doctors are wrong. And they are getting it. There are doctors who are financially benefiting from more trans children coming down the pipeline because of surgery after surgery.
As soon as you make a transgender kid, you have a client for life. You have a customer for life. You have a patient for life. There's complications. There's constant pharmaceuticals all the time. There's constant updates, and there's a lot of surgeries.
There are doctors who have very ill intent, and they're just saying, yep, let's go ahead and perform
If
the surgery.
these doctors are so gung-ho to do surgeries
But I
like
was
this
old
on
enough to
children,
choose to have healthy
are they
parts of my
doing
body
other things to
electively
them
amputated.
when
I
they're
was
under
sold a product.
anesthesia? Seems awfully close
Medical
to pedophilia.
transition. By
Yeah,
professionals
it's one
and
of those things that's like the do
institutions who
no
told me
harm
that it would
thing.
fix my distress and save my life. I was told that if I didn't do this,
It's
I
like
would
part of their
probably end
vows.
up-
Yes.
And I just don't think
They
that's a
do
thing
do that.
anymore.
They
I
say-
think
they
doctors
tell the
like, if you give me
parents,
money,
"Oh,
I'll
would
do
you rather
whatever you
have
want.
a trans son or a dead
So I think a
daughter?"
lot of
That's
it's
like a common thing.
just a money
that these
thing.
doctors are saying, even in front
or
of the
greed
kid. Well, yeah, the stats
over
show that
morals.
if you don't get the surgery, you might KMS, and if you don't accept your kid for who
If it
they
was up to
are,
me,
you're
if I was
going
like
down this
president or
route of
something like that, I'd
KMS,
find all these
that's not
doctors and put them in
always the
prison
case,
just to be like,
and you're
hey,
planting these seeds
you're not gonna be a
inside these
moral
children and
person.
these parents
You don't
to go
belong with
through
public,
with
you
these
know.
horrible ass decisions. It is
It's tough
wrong.
putting
But here's
doctors
what
in
they didn't
prison.
tell me.
So that's, you know, that's pretty
They didn't
sus.
tell me that taking cross-sex hormones and undergoing major
But,
surgery at 14 years old
Because
could
you
leave me
need
with pelvic
you
floor
need people who
dysfunction
are
and
putting you under
urinary
anesthesia,
incontinence.
people who are
Problems I
dealing
have
with
to
your
manage
health, any of that stuff. You need them to be moral people. So if you don't have moral people who are doing this stuff, then the exact type of thoughts that you have, where you're like, oh, when they're under anesthesia with kids, you know, what are they doing to them? Like, if you think that of the doctors, then there's a problem there already. Like, if you don't think they're of moral character, then what are you gonna do? Yeah. That's part of just being a victim, having that victim mindset. Is that like the nice thing about mental health problems is that people can't prove that you're better.
Now, as a young adult, I'm only 20 years old. They didn't tell me that these complications are common enough to be known risks, and yet they were hidden from me at an age where I didn't even understand what these terms meant, let alone the impact they would have on my daily life.
This is what they don't talk about. They make the being trans be like, oh, it's so loving and accepting. You be trans, it's okay, it's okay. No one's talking about the harsh things that come with it medically. These are the things that make people want to KMS. Being 20 years old, can't have sex, some of them, don't have your body parts, things missing, things don't work, you're bleeding everywhere, you're pissing everywhere. It's horrible. It's
bleeding
sad.
everywhere, you're
and this
pissing
is the
everywhere.
route that some of these people are being funneled down, and it's not okay. And this is exactly what Nicki Minaj and a lot of the average person out there is speaking out against. We don't want to see children go through this. This is why they can't make these decisions as minors. But all of a sudden, you got a kid saying, I'm trans, you want to send them down to do this? That's disgusting.
And it doesn't stop there. When I tried to warn others by leaving honest reviews on my surgeon's websites, describing my regret, the complications, the lack of real informed consent, my reviews were deleted. Think about that. A surgeon permanently altered my healthy body when I was a middle school student, and then erased my negative feedback to protect his reputation. If that doesn't sound like fraud, I don't know what does.
That happens, and these trans people, because they're detransitioners, they still trans, they went through that whole process, their voice matters too, they get muted, they get silenced. I referenced this before. There was an organization that labeled Chloe Cole as a far-right extremist, anti-trans activist, when the person's quite literally trans. Like, yes, they detransitioned, but they went through this process as a minor, they lost their bits and pieces, they're going through all these health complications, and instead of saying, oh, this is a detransitioner or this is a trans person, you're saying they're the anti-trans activist. Yeah, they're anti-trans for children.
So, detransitioner Chloe Cole was just included in the Southern Poverty Law Center's Hate Watch group for being a right-wing extremist. God forbid someone talks about their lived experience.
And if anyone has the right to speak about it, if you want to go that route of identity politics and restrict people to only talk about certain things that they are qualified to talk about, you would think it would be an actual trans child who is grown up and regrets the decision that they've gone down. You would think they have a voice. You would think you would care about what they have to say, but oftentimes we see from the LGBTQ plus community in whole is that they don't. They don't care about those voices. They don't want to highlight it. They want to shun it. They want to kick them out the community. Say you're a self-hating trans person. Don't force your trans on everybody else. Don't
They're
tell
not
your
gonna
story
kill you,
people. Don't do anything because it goes
That's
against
crazy.
the narrative
All
that
right,
they're
fair
trying to
enough.
push out. When in reality, if we all just kept it real, we all were honest with each other, we all just kept it 100, it would be fine. I'd argue that we wouldn't see as much hate as we see towards the gay community if this damn trans community left the children alone. It's this damn TQ plus side of the LGBTQ plus community, the TQ plus, the trans shit and the queer shit, the whole non-binaries and all that, that is messing every single thing up. And it is so frustrating for the average gay person out there.
Oh,
even the
cool.
average
Phoenix
person out
Flight
there who's
Airship.
being labeled
Teen immigrants
transphobic,
have to be
homophobic when they're
sacrificed from
not.
this
It's
turn.
frustrating seeing this. It's
Oh, I
frustrating
love
being
this
a
guy's
part of this
deck.
because I can't fathom putting a child through this much pain and turmoil. All it takes is one. This is abuse. All it takes is one. One case, one story to see this and say, okay, yep, let them do this when an adult. Because it's quite ironic. There's a large group of these people saying, hey, well, I signed my student loans when I was 18 years old and I didn't know what I was reading or what I was doing. I was taken advantage of and I want my student loans forgiven and I shouldn't have to pay my student loans. I was just a child when I signed that paper. Okay, but you're saying a 12-year-old is in the right mindset to get a double mastectomy? 13, 14? It doesn't add up. That same kid
It doesn't
cannot
add up.
consent to have sex, but you're saying they can consent to change their sex for life. It
Oh.
does not add up.
Our parents admit it was hard to process their then son begging in tears to wear a dress.
I feel like I'm an open-minded person, but when it's like your son, asking you to do this, and I think I wasn't thinking about.
Oh, it's
her
only crew 1 for those? Oh
feelings
my god.
at the time.
It's a kid.
I want this card in real
You're
life.
their father. You
Phoenix
lead
Fleet
them down
Airship.
a path. You explain things to them. They're not always going to be your friend. They're not always going to like you. They're not always going to agree with the decisions that you're making for them, but you're their parent. You're parenting them. They're not the ones supposed to be parenting you, telling you, I want to wear a dress, so I'm going to wear this dress. I want to be this, so I'm going to be this. There are things you put your foot down on, especially at that young, at 6, 7. Wow, 6, 7. Damn children. 6, 7.
Oh, and he had United Front,
How are
create
people
X allies, put plus one.
react
on
to
it.
You were afraid a little
Sick.
bit for her.
Yeah, and I still am afraid for her.
But the North Carolina family, who asked that we not use their name, has learned to embrace a change they
This guy had
never
a bunch
saw
of cool
coming.
rad.
You know, if we continue to say no,
It's called the
you have to
Phoenix
live as a
Airship.
boy, she would continue. She's young.
An
I'm
artifact
sure she
vehicle.
would have done it, but like
It's
we
very
didn't want
cool.
to be her first bully. We
It's almost
wanted
as
to
cool as the
support her.
drill.
And it's crazy because I'm not even a parent yet.
All
I
right,
don't
I lost
have a
all 3
7,
games.
8-year-old
It's a vehicle.
child, but
Yeah.
I'm already aware there's going to be
It's a
decisions that I
firebending
make
or
where
a
they're
Fire
gonna view
Nation
me as a
airship. It's
bully.
right.
They're going to view me as being
All right, I
mean.
got one
They're gonna
pack.
view
I
me
fucking
as
made the
not
worst
on
deck
their side
possible.
when I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking in the future to protect them.
Realm
A
of
parent's job
Koi.
isn't to
Koi, koi,
affirm
koi.
every single little feeling that you have. Again, if it was a tomboy or tomgirl, whatever. Do as you may. But a full transition.
But bunch of good
for
blanks.
what?
I haven't
As a
seen this one
child?
before.
And not
The
full,
Realm
full
of the Koi
transition,
when
but
this
like,
enters
changing
taps
up
once you control
pronouns,
basic
long hair,
land.
the dresses,
Add
all
1
that.
swamp.
Obviously leading down a path
4
of when they
swamps.
get older and start going through
Create 1
puberty, puberty
colorless
blockers.
spirit
Oh,
token.
maybe this will stop this.
This
and
token
they're
cannot be
children.
blocked
I'm going
or
crazy.
be blocked by
You like fashion?
spirit creatures. Very
Yes.
cool.
What do you like about it?
Yeah.
way
That's
you
good
can
for when you have
express
no
yourself
cards in your
with
hand.
it
You need to
and
spend
have
some mana.
creative you can be with it.
And that's weird. Well, I like fashion.
Very cool.
I like how creative you can be, and it's just great. Boys can be in fashion too. There's male fashion designers. Just because you're exhibiting more female traits does not mean you have to automatically just boom, jump and be a female. No. What you should be doing is just affirming your child for who they are, saying, hey, you're a boy, you have boy parts, you like these things, sure, you can. You want to get into fashion, you can get into fashion, but you can't be out here wearing all these dresses and fooling around in the heels. No. It is okay to be yourself. It is okay to be a boy, but like some girl things. That's totally normal and fine. But what will be a disservice to you is push you down this route.
4. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna go work on the wall a little bit. I'm gonna go work on the wall a little bit. What else was I gonna do today? No, those 4 packs are your packs. They're on your account. I'm gonna let you open them. I just got the 1 pack because I suck dick. Relax, or I'm up when you get home. Oh, you probably are gonna stay up late. Maybe I should nap today then. Maybe I should do some work on call the truck donate. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll call to see if they can pick up the truck sometime, and I'll work on the wall a little bit, and then I'll nap so that way I'm up, and I'm not like a sleepy old man when you get home. You're leaving at 5:30? Okay. I might be on later. We'll see if I can't sleep. 'Cause I did sleep pretty well last night, and it's still really early. My schedule's a little fucky right now. If I can't sleep later, I'll come back and I'll stream some more. I love you. I love you so much. I'm super excited. You did and didn't sleep well. Facts. I'm big excited. We stay up late tonight. You can do whatever you want. We sleep in tomorrow and we have a fun day. I'm gonna miss you too. I love you. Big excite for when you get home. Big excite. Okay. I love you. Get you tomorrow at 11? Okay. Can't sleep in too much. Got it. We did this. I see you soon.